Greetings, everyone. Welcome to episode 151 of Heavy Metallurgy. Happy Friday. I'm one of your co-hosts, Marty. It's good to see everyone. Alan, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. I've had a short nap and I'm full of Red Bull, so I'm broad-eyed and bushy-tailed right now.
No sleep till Hammersmith for you tonight.
Yep. We're good to go. It's a rainy night here, but hopefully everyone is doing well. Hello to folks who are already filling in the chat. A lot of familiar faces, a few that I don't recognize. Thanks for tuning in, checking it out. This is going to be a funny episode for you to check out if it's your first time, but yeah, hopefully you will enjoy it. I think it's going to be a pretty cool topic that we've got. But Marty, is there anything you want to announce before we bring out our guest?
I really don't. I'm just excited to get this guy back on here, our buddy Phil. It's been a long time. He's one of my absolute favorite shows on the YouTubes for sure. And let's get him on here right now. Phillip from Chromium Dioxide Radio. Welcome back, brother. It's good to see you. Yes.
Hello, good evening. It's good to be here this evening.
It's good to have you on.
About as serious as I'm ever going to get. You weren't expecting
There you go.
Yes. So yeah, we know that most of your Friday nights are spoken for. So thank you for spending a free Friday night with us.
It's an honor.
Long overdue.
Guys. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry about that, but no, it was time. And now that I have Chromium back on track the way it should be, now's the time to pedal my wares.
I got to say, this
pedal away, please do.
Yeah, pedal away. This latest episode was, I watch every single one of your episodes at least 3 times because your monologue is so quick and I miss stuff and there's so much wit mixed in with it. It's just fun to savor it, watch it 3 times. And this is truly back on track. And what has been going on in the Chromium Dioxide universe? So for people that have been following and maybe been wondering why there's been a slight gap or hesitation, what has been going on?
I made a deal with the devil, really. I started to do work for some people that were associated with Sony, and things are going somewhat well. But now I want it to be separated from another project that they were involved with because I really don't know anything about NFTs. I've said to you guys before, we've chatted, it's just, I'm a tangible collector, and NFTs and all that world, I don't understand. And really, Why would you get a tattoo, put on you by a person who doesn't have any tattoos? And it's just like, it's not going to happen. Right.
Right.
So
right.
I just said, I prefer to step aside, and good luck with that. I'm developing something on the side. But that really, really took the wind out of the sails for Chromium. And I was so busy building sets, building puppets, and all this other nonsense, and I just couldn't get to the show. And then on top of having a full-time job and let me tell you, a full-time family, it made it pretty difficult. So I just wanted to prioritize. I was like, I want to go back to Chromium because I was having fun. I wasn't having fun with that. It just became a slog. Right? And in fact, I've even noticed when I look back at those, I'm just like, it doesn't sound like me. It didn't feel like me.
The humor didn't hit the same either. It was, I'm not going to lie. It felt strained to me.
Well, you have to put things like through a committee, right? I'd have to submit scripts, and they'd be, no, we need you to do this, or no, this is problematic, or you can't say this. And if I can't say dick or shit, or God forbid, use the word bitch, like, oh shit, right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everything was just, and they gave me a lot of freedom. And if any of them are watching right now, I'm, the puppets are going to see you. I wish. It's funny.
He's going to Skywalker Ranch.
What's funny is this show was never supposed to have any puppets. It wasn't set out to be that. It was just the barbecutioner character living in solitude in hell. And the first episode, which don't go back and watch, it's so horrible because I filmed it on VHS, like with a VHS camera. I wanted it to look old and fool people, and it's terrible. And for the 10 episodes after that, sound is garbage. But
it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Yeah. But, I've shown some growth. I mean, look at you guys. Like, you go back to your early channels. Do you not cringe as well? Oh,
no, never. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the most photogenic person in the world. So, yeah, I mean, I cringe. I'm cringing now on the inside a little bit.
Years of decay. But, yeah, no.
Decay.
Yeah, when I grabbed that Boglin puppet, that was just something. That was an accident. That was a last minute thing, so I could just talk with something back and forth just to get some B-roll footage. So if there was glitches, and then by I think the 5th episode, I was like, you know what, I got to bring our mascot back from the magazine to make it real, and that's where Castillo came.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be one puppet. That was the gag, and then from here on in, it was like, oh man. People were contacting me like, I have this puppet, or I would like this puppet, or would you like to have this Yeti suit? And like, who's gonna say no to a Yeti suit? And then when I had the Yeti on, I was like, he looks naked. And then I thought, wouldn't it be really offensive and somewhat droll if the Yeti was wearing a dashiki named Texas Mike? So it's just starting to grow like that, and it's getting sillier and sillier. And I apologize, people, because I know a lot of the times the show goes way out there. I mean, Aaron talked about that, about the lore and stuff like that. You have to understand, I'm on the spectrum as well. So I kind of got that like Dan Aykroydness. It's just like it gets a little weird. So I need someone to hold me back sometimes. Like, no. And my wife's not interested at all. She's not going to help me. She's like, you just go do that show with your puppets. I'll put the kids to bed, I guess. It's like,
Right.
I could be out having an affair at the bar, all right? Yeah, okay, I'm down with puppets. I get it. But
well, it's back on track. The thrash metal episode was a glorious return, and are you going to resume with the story arc that you had rolling just before the NFTs and the stretch limousines and
bitch, please. Let me tell you something here. This right here, this was all part of a washer, a dryer. People are dropping off dead equipment at my door. I'm building everything for this whole Quarthar the set. There's a giant spaceship coming. I built props all day long. Check this out. The skin flute, which is made of foreskins. And someone's a dead porn star. This, and I have with the help of some of those wonderful people that worked for Sony, they got me a stripper, and she did some, and they made her up like dead. Like she looks like a dead stripper, porn star that's come back from the dead. So these people are awesome. You know what I mean? It's just, they don't share my sense of humor, and I don't think I understand their business side. You know how
it's a convoluted evil world that they inhabit. I hate to say it out loud, but it's true.
Well, I'm in hell.
True. Yeah.
But guys, thank you for taking the risk for this, because this is a very risky show for you guys. I mean, this is heavy metallurgy. Now, I know you guys always like to have a laugh, some good times, but you know what we're like. Gatekeepers.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, I take shit all the time. And on top of that, let me tell you, that comment that Castillo unwisely made about thrash being American, oh man, the DMs were on fire. I can't tell you how many people were swearing at me. And then, thank God, YouTube protected me. Because anything that had fuck or you motherfucker, it was just completely like, they protected me and sheltered me from it.
Wow.
They got angry, man. They got angry.
Yeah.
Looks like about 8 skins. Yeah, it was about 8 or 9, actually. I was there when it happened.
Well, we got, it's all coming back around, back on track. Again, one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's not even a contest. And there's also, if you want to do a little further digging, you were doing No Life Till Late Fees, I believe, before leading up to this, which is another fun, like, movie review thing, back and forth banter with a friend of yours. And it's very cool stuff. You've got a face for video.
I just did a Harrison Ford smile. Looks like you're having a bit of a stroke. Yeah, it's kind of true. Thank you, Aaron. I wish you were there to defend me, man, because holy shit, man. They were angry that day, but whatever. I still stand by it. You know what I mean? I'm a Canadian. So, and us Canadians, we know our thrash as well. Let me tell you. And you're going to take it from Europe. You're going to take, Germany? Really? So don't listen to him, man. He's heat score, man. He wants to ruffle some feathers. I'm innocent. Shit. I'm just the guy working the radio station.
It's one of those things. It's like, you know he's trolling you. Don't feed the troll. You're playing right into his hands, folks.
Yeah, well, exactly. But I guess one of the questions that even when I pitched this, I said, "Come on, let's do a funny episode." You were nervous, Marty.
You know what? I'm not nervous, but I procrastinate. Procrastination is the mother of invention in the Rickonen house. I say that. I say that to myself to make myself feel better. But I struggled really hard with this topic, to be completely honest. I've got
You're just
some
too
stuff.
grim, serious, Colt, Marty.
I'm not. I've got some stupid things, but it's just like funny and metal does never. It always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, a little bit.
Well, I guess that's the point of this, right?
Yeah.
And might I say, last week I was just writhing because I was at work in the laboratory, listening to you guys doing the wasp dissection, and God, that Darcy, what a great guy, what a Canadian, eh? Like he represents us so well.
Yes,
so
he does.
Well spoken. He always reminded me of Mike Pence and Johnny Quest's dad.
Oh,
now that
man.
you've said it, I'll never unsee it.
Yeah, he is though. He really is. Right. So he made me proud. And then I'm going to take Canada down again because I'm on the other end of the spectrum. We're East Coast Canadian, and you don't fuck with the Newfoundland sense of humor, man, because we've seen some misery and we know it, and we laugh in the face of death. We're in a giant rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, dude.
that can only end well.
Yeah, it can only end well.
Yeah. Yep. But yep, Phillip picked this topic tonight, and it's a good one. It's something we've never really crossed. We've poked fun at album covers before and this and that, but we've never really fully gone into humor in metal. And humor is a big part of Chromium Dioxide, of course. And I have a feeling that you took the humor a little bit differently than I might have growing up. What did humor in metal look like to you? Was it a good break from the seriousness, or something you lived in a little bit more than maybe we did, or just something to chuckle at on occasion?
I said it on the last show. I wasn't the angriest kid in the world. I really wasn't. I was a class clown. I actually won several years in a row the Class Clown Award, and I was very proud of that to this day. Right. So when it came to heavy metal, actually, no, I'd go back further. My first love was horror movies. And I actually had an opinion kind of like yours. And I know this is going to be extremely controversial, but when I watched Evil Dead and dark horror movies like that, I went absolutely bonkers. I loved it. I loved the vibe. I loved the mood. And then I remember Evil Dead 2, which everybody loves. Everybody loves Army of Darkness. And
Army of Darkness.
And I'm not saying I don't like those, but I got a real stick up my ass for Evil Dead 2. I didn't like the comedy in my horror. And it really kind of bothered me. You know what I mean? It was like, what are we doing here? Are we doing horror? You know what I mean? Are we doing Monster Squad for kids? Or, I wanted like something like Maniac. Now, over time, I kind of started to realize that, it has its place. My favorite movie of all time is Big Trouble in Little China, which doesn't know what the hell it is. Speaking of autism, right? Is it a kung fu movie? Is it a ghost story? Is it a comedy? Is it an action? What is it? Nobody knows. And it failed miserably as a result of that, like marketing wise. So, I think that sort of thing had an effect on me. But yeah, when it came to metal, I kind of had a little bit of a stick up my ass, but you got to understand that me, and I bet a lot of your viewers kind of started off with Weird Al Yankovic, like in their early cassettes.
Yeah.
Like
I had Dare to Be Stupid. I had two of them. No, Dare to Be Stupid was a song. 3D, something 3D.
Yeah, I think it was Weird Al Yankovic in 3D.
Yeah, I had that one and another one. I can't remember which one. I enjoyed them.
Eat It, Fat, and then the UHF soundtrack, which blew my mind. You know what I mean? And humor is weird because it depends on where you're from, too. Like, what's funny to you? You guys are Americans. You guys invented the sitcom. Thank you very much. Right?
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like the American, like you just like the obvious ones, okay? Like United States humor, Saturday Night Live. For us in Canada, it was Kids in the Hall. SCTV, yeah. Kids in the Hall. And then you had, in England and stuff like that, you had your Benny Hills, your Faulty Towers, and things like that. So when I, as a young kid, Big Trouble's a masterpiece. ADHD, yes, it is. But yeah, when I'd watch Faulty Towers as a kid, I somewhat got it because I feel that Canada was the middle ground. We understood British humor, but we really got American humor too. You know what I mean? So Canada was always that in between. So I was lucky with that. And then there's the German sense of humor, which I think is, it gets a bad name because every German I've ever known, and I've lived with 2 Germans, man, they've got amazing sense of humor. But in the media, they get a bad rap, much like English thrash.
Yeah, I think English thrash earned that title of bad rap for me anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They're late to the party. But anyway, that's another.
They were just at. I always figured they were at the Napalm Death and Carcass party. They didn't have time to squeeze thrash in between new wave of British heavy metal and grindcore. Something had to go. Thrash was the odd man out. It didn't chip in for gas, so it didn't get to come along.
Yep.
Well, and like I said, it's subjective, but being a Canadian, I think I have a bit of an advantage because I was that middleman in between that had to, and also the Irish sense of humor. Like I am, my family, I'm half Irish and half French, so Jesus Christ, right? You're neither loved nor respected. Like, the Irish are hard drinking partiers, and they will, you know what I mean? They love a good dark joke, and then the French humor is something that's completely absurdist. I mean, the French will never have a sense of humor like, they don't have comedians that have like, did you ever notice that? That's not the French humor. The French humor is like, if you go see, Just for Laughs in Montreal, it's going to be some French guy, like on a unicycle dressed as a sunflower, juggling flaming knives. That kills over there. You know what I mean? It's just bizarre humor. And so I think I've been kind of blessed with both. But I know for a fact that there's many people that watch my show and get extraordinarily frustrated about it. They're like, man, I wish you'd take things a little bit more serious. Like, fuck off.
You're in the wrong place.
You're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place, but on the same token, the words you're saying in your scripts are typically right on the nose. You just have a comical way of dissecting the topics, and I think those people need to pay a little closer attention because I don't know. I agree with a lot of the stuff you say.
Yeah, don't go listening to it too much, though. It's really
no. I think it's great, and the fact that I think let's mash Chromium Dioxide down into a metal album. It is a humorous metal album with brains and speed. It's like a speed metal album with with a little bit of AOR and comedy in it, and it's kind of the perfect mix.
Well, so, thank you. Don't make me cry here now. Jeez. Supposed to be having fun.
Well, we're going to have fun. So why don't you start us off? Do you have anything to ask, Phil? I'm kind of rambling my mouth, Alan. Anything on your mind that you want to, that I may have missed here?
Something that, folks have been pointing out in the chat. Excuse me. And I think folks would have kind of agree with. Yeah, humors, can be a tough thing to get right when you mix it into other mediums, whether it's horror or metal. If you're not careful, it starts coming across as way too silly and cheesy, and then you kind of lose the impact that the other part of the medium is supposed to have. But if you don't do enough of it, nobody really notices it. If you make it too subtle or bury it too much, it just goes right past folks.
Yeah, you don't want to be too hip for the room.
Yeah, it's like, then you're just, you're entertaining yourself, but nobody else gets the joke. And so, yeah, it's a hard medium to balance, and especially for things like heavy metal, where the default setting seems to be serious. It must be serious, that we all must be, arms are crossed, and we will frown and furrow our brows at you in our band pictures. It's like, you smile at me, and I'll fuck you up. We sometimes just, metal fans, they take it extremely seriously. For some folks, it's a lifestyle. Some folks love it. It's great that they're passionate about it, but sometimes they have a hard time lightening up and, being able to laugh or smile about it, that they do take it a little bit too much to heart. And as such, humor can really hit them the wrong way. And then they get pissed off and start hating on those bands or those people that understand that it's okay for it to be a little goofy. There's also a fine line between funny and cheesy.
Sure.
Cheesy has that negative connotation to it where you've gone maybe too far, you've made it too slapstick or something. So you have to watch that kind of balance too. So it is a tricky thing to get right. King Snake, thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
Thanks you so much, Jake.
Tuning in.
I think too, though, like, Professor Steele, you and I have both extraordinarily been guilty of cornball dad jokes as well.
Absolutely.
And the ones that are flat are actually so funny to me, right? That I just love when a joke bombs or when someone doesn't get what I'm saying because I'm just being sarcastic or I'm genuinely being pissy about something, and I'll just say it through a puppet so it doesn't seem so bad. Right?
Yep.
But I appreciate you guys always having like a lighthearted vibe. I mean, look at Metal Theologian. He's got one of the greatest collections. He's pissed off now. He wants to hear the best collection. But it's, you know what I mean? Like, I've never watched an episode of that and didn't crack up laughing. I mean, he understands. He has a passion and love for this stuff. He never shit talks it. Like, even if it's shitty, he has great reverence for it. And that's what it's about. Because if you make a movie like Basket Case or Frankenhooker, and I'll go back to movies again, like these guys, they attempted to make a really good movie, but it's funny because it was not executed the way it should have been. But if you make like Sharknado versus Nuclear Octopus Titties, I'm not interested in that, like trash. If you're trying to be bad, I'm not interested in that. That's that cheesy thing that you're talking about.
Yeah. And really, people, if you're new to the channel or you're never heard of Chromium Dioxide Radio, the link's in the description. This guy works endlessly to bring you guys awesome entertainment, quality entertainment, and you have no idea the hoops he jumps through to make it all happen. So please go subscribe, go check out the shows. They're great. They're a lot of fun. We'll remind you again at the end of this, but please, he needs way more subs than he has. So let's everybody get to work.
Link's already in the description.
Yeah.
Jeez, Marty, do you remember when I was like, had like maybe 33 people and you're like, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And I remember it's like, you really took me on. And
it's a slog, man. When you grow organically, it is a long process on YouTube. It just is.
It really is. But you know what? Like, I have my priorities straight. I know I'm not going to make $1 million off this. You know, it doesn't have the jiggle factor, although I am getting man tits quite nicely.
Me too. Yeah.
But
coming in nicely.
I see guys like there's lots of channels, but like Black Leather Eyes. You know that guy?
That's a great Jason. Oh, his channel's fantastic. I've tried to get him on here, but the time difference messes things up. But yeah, Jason's awesome.
What's it called? Black Leather what?
Black Leathered Eyes.
Okay.
That guy deserves a lot. You know, like back
that guy. He's an English guy.
Irish, I believe.
Irish, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good channel.
It is a great channel, and he's got a great collection, great taste, and a great head of hair. I would kill to scalp him.
Yeah, don't even go.
Black Leather Eyes. Yeah. Thank you.
We were thrown out of the hair club for men, me and Phillip here. So yeah, the ones that keep making hats.
I did the Rogaine thing for a bit back in, I think it was like 2002, and instead of like making me look like I had hair, it just made me look like I was just balding. Just like
all that slid off my head and down my back. I have a beautiful head of hair on my back. It's amazing. In the shower, it all washed off. It's like, oh, flowing. I got Fabio hair on my back.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's some beefcake shots lined up for if you guys ever get a magazine, we'll pull out.
If there's ever a Chromie calendar, hook me up. We can send a photographer.
In the UK, they put Marty on page 33.
Yeah.
Next to Samantha Fox today. God, she's still gorgeous. Fuck you.
There she is. She is. I would agree with that. But let's get started. Phillip, you're going to start us off tonight. Where are we going? What's the first one?
How many people have actually put money down? Who's going to bring up Anthrax or Halloween first?
Well, TJ said which he jumped. Okay, I'm here. Which Anthrax album are we on?
God damn, that frustrates me so much. But they made their bed, and they're gonna have to lie in it, and they certainly are.
They have to mosh in it.
Well, why don't we just get those ones out of the way?
Let's just do that one. Let's do Anthrax. Yep.
Let's do Anthrax right here, because
that right there does not age well.
No, it certainly doesn't age well. But this one, I think, kind of did, in my opinion. You know, already we have some controversy. This was actually a great thing for them, because they got a lot of press and promotion for this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people were like, "Hey man," I remember being in gym class, and that Anthrax album, that Bees one, that's really good. And then all my friends started getting it on Columbia House, and they were like the Bruce Springsteen and Phil Collins types. They all came out of the woodwork for this album. And, Milk was a big hit. And so everybody thought it was hilarious. But I always loved Anthrax's sense of humor. And getting back to my show, I really think that if we were a heavy metal band like Chromium, we'd be probably early Anthrax.
Okay.
Very much obsessed with horror movies, Stephen King, that sort of nerd culture. And then, I've said that before. We definitely have that. I say we, like the puppets. Castillo, please stay back. Don't get angry. Right? I talk to these guys sometimes. I'm down like, boys, good show today. I'm like,
got to. Yep.
Maybe not something to say publicly.
Yeah, I know.
If there's a care agent shows up at your door anonymously in the future, you can trace it back to this moment.
But I think Anthrax, they always had that kind of tough, New York, Bronx cheer, humor. And I think that's what always made them lovable, made them stand out. And ironically, I think they had the smartest lyrics. But what Anthrax had to say was a hell of a lot smarter. If we're just going to talk about the big four, Dave's been black-pilled from the beginning. I mean, listening to Dave causes me anxiety. It's everybody wants to kill us.
Yeah.
Dave's angry, and Metallica, it's what did Slayer have to offer? They were spooky stories, out of Tales from the Crypt. But Anthrax they've always had very thought-provoking, intellectual, songs and lyrics. But people only remember them for "I'm the Man" and those early State of Euphorias, the garish yellow and red. You know what I mean? And the jam shorts, and I say, why not? I'm all for it. But they made some bad decisions, and they got to pay for it.
Yep, absolutely. And I like that "I Am the Man" when it came out, because it's funny, haha. But it just did not stick well. I'm not a rap guy anyway, but it was a tough sell for me in the end. Yeah, good pick, good start. I mean, where else to start? That's what everybody knows,
Danny becoming a watchmaker was hilarious, especially when his eye turned. Bless his heart. I think he's got to correct it now. But,
really?
Yeah. When he was working on it, and there was a picture. It was catching up with Dan Spitz, and it was this picture. And one eye was turned. I'm like, man, get one of these. It's get one of these. It'll help you, right? It'll magnify it. You don't have to be
right.
So he's absolutely Ryan's absolutely correct.
All right. Ellen, where are you starting in this quest? Where am I?
All right, I want to leave the pumpkins for you, Marty. So we'll get to those, I'm sure, on your turn. But I want to bypass that and leave that low-hanging pumpkin fruit for you. I'm going to start with a band that has generated a ridiculous amount of memes over the years, and you get the sense they must enjoy them because you never hear them get pissy about it, and they keep doing the exact same things that feed the meme machine. So
I feel I know what's coming up.
I know it's coming too.
Yeah. You probably both do because it's right there on the thumbnail in all its glorious, corpse painted glory. It's Immortal.
Yeah, I have them too.
Yep. Wasn't what I was thinking, but okay.
Oh, okay. Well, fair. Immortal. It's they're an interesting one in Norwegian black metal circles because they're one of the very early bands. But I don't think they would ever be considered one of the big four bands. They're always kind of you list them maybe fifth or sixth or seventh or something after your Mayhems and your Burzums and your Emperors, and eventually, Immortal was there too. Music's great. They've got a long catalog. it's pretty consistent. They've went through a few style changes, but nothing too drastic over time. People have their favorite periods and others they don't like as much. But, let's face it, what most people know Immortal for are, the memes where, you've got, the dancing abaths and such, with the animated GIFs, which are gloriously funny. Kudos to whoever, took the time to generate those, because they've gotten a lot of mileage out of them over the years. But yeah, at the same time, at least I've never really sensed any serious pushback about it. It's not like the band gets super pissy about it, or that they started changing their look or anything to make sure it couldn't happen again. I mean, shit, you're wearing, these kind of shin guards, on like, album number 8 or something. And you're freely saying, like, please go ahead, make another one, generate some more, Google searches for us, with your silliness. Cause it's, you're just feeding the monkey here. So yeah. And, Immortal's got to be unintentionally funny, and people like it, so it's a lot of fun. Last thing I'll say with Immortal is, again, it's always bothered me a little bit they don't get a little more respect, because musically they have been very good.
They're
and
great.
They're first generation Norwegian black metal. It's not like they showed up in 1999 after Dimmer Borgir got popular or something. They were there all along. I've always wondered if it's just, again, maybe a little bit of not just the gift cheese from the appearance, but they did have a different, direction they went in. And the music's not necessarily as dark or anything, because they kind of focus on this whole, fantasy winter hell dimension thing that they have going on. They didn't, focus on the satanic part. There were actually interviews like with Euronymous back in the day where he's like, yeah, I don't know if Immortal counts as black metal because they're not satanic. Like, okay, whatever. But yeah, they weren't involved in like the church burning stuff directly. None of them got arrested for killing band members or, stabbing, guys out in the woods or anything like that. So
which is comical in itself. I mean, that's pretty.
It's you'd wonder though. I mean, if somehow their true black metal street cred they lost some points because they weren't as extreme as some of the other bands. So like, no, we're just gonna sit over here and write songs about winter and ice in this place called Blast Chic, and you guys can go to jail and do that if you want to. The mantra in my head has always been that when it comes to why they didn't get quite into that top tier of respect, it's like the old saying goes: other bands kill, Immortal plays.
That's
obviously
so true.
Okay.
I love the idea too, like this romanticizing, of winter. Marty, you're from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Labrador. I mean, shovel a driveway, guys.
Yeah.
That's the
Takes the
true
fun
misery.
right out of it. Yeah. Right.
That's the true misery. You're like, right?
Remember having to go out and split wood. Go out. You want your allowance? Go split wood and fill the wood bin. Like, you have to dig it out of 2 feet of snow and.
Yeah, I mean, live with lake effect snow that starts in October all the way to May, and you have to get up at 8 a.m. to walk back and forth across campus to get to an English lit class about aspects of Canadian fiction. Then tell me that winter doesn't suck.
We got all learning on the streets. It was cold on those streets. Let me tell you, Mister. Cold.
I got my learning walking to aspects of Canadian fiction class. What I learned was sign up for classes earlier, dumbass, and then you won't be stuck taking this one.
Right.
No, they remind me of like Kiss in a bad mood. Like this, it's just like what Kiss is like inside.
Yeah.
If Gene Simmons looked like what he acts like.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, perfect way of saying it.
But the thing of it is that Rick nailed it with that. I mean, it started off early for Immortal. That Call the Winter Moon, black metal, Norway's super serious and scary, and had a crime element to it. And then here are these guys in a Halloween store, traditional pointy witch hat, peeking out around a tree and like looking off in the, it's so stupid. And you're like, these guys are serious, but thankfully for them, the music was good. It was good. So
yeah, and it's remained good. And I mean, if you look album by album, they've got as longer a discography than most of those other bands do. They were able to consistently keep recording stuff. They don't have these big gaps in their career. They didn't burn out early on, but they've, plugged away for decades now. So
they didn't give us Dungeons.
It worked.
So.
Yeah.
They didn't give us Prison Dungeons.
Yeah. No, not that. Boy, I wish I'd seen a resurgence like you wouldn't believe. Holy smokes.
I would like to see if the vinyl community, started behaving like the black metal dudes. And so who's going to kill who? Who do you think is going to die first? We all conspire. Hey, Max, what's up? Come on in.
The Dukes of Chaos.
Speaking of the Duke of Chaos, here, why don't you say hello?
The lighting. What's up, Mac?
Hey, buddy.
The lighting director of Chromium Dioxide Radio. There he is. How you doing?
He's in a cool dude phase. Are you cool now or what?
I'm cool now.
Yeah, he's got himself some pit vipers, and he's looking like a real son of a gun.
You need a tattoo next. That's the next step on this trajectory. Yeah.
You're not getting no tattoos.
Start talking to your mom about this.
Yeah. Like, go upstairs. Love you. Can of whoop ass if you don't go to sleep.
All right. Well, for me,
I left it
1984.
open for you, Marty. Go for it.
I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna start with something that I actually found very funny, and it had not necessarily a metal connotation, but a rock connotation. That would be 1984's This Is Spinal Tap. Did we need an actual album from Spinal Tap? Probably not, but we got one anyway. But I mean, this is the first time. Yeah. I didn't know there was one before this because, who cares? But the movie is still one of those that you pull. It doesn't matter when you put it on, you're going to enjoy it. How many times you've seen it. And it poked fun at the hard rock, stadium metal, hard rock bands. And I guess a lot of truth in some of the skits on that whole thing. And someone said in the chat earlier that the good thing about comedy is truth is what makes it funny. That's what makes truly funny comedy funny is truth. Well, there's a lot of truth in This Is Spinal Tap. I couldn't tell you a single song on this. This was given to me recently-ish. I have not listened to it yet. I remember when it came out, they were trying to make it look like a real band at this point, even though they're living off of one movie. But I don't know.
They played all across Canada in one day.
Really?
In one day, they went to every different province on the Break Like the Wind tour. And it was incredible. So, Marty, not only can I tell you a song off that, I can tell you the lyrics, but the first one, Half Black, this movie is an absolute masterpiece.
It is a total masterpiece.
Shit sandwich, they can't print that. It's just one of those movies that was just so fantastic. And I, at the time when I first saw this, my cousins had it rented, and I thought it was a real band. And a lot of people did. And they never let anyone in on the joke. And then later on, they were on Entertainment Tonight with Carl Reiner and let in. But I mean, Sex Farm, Big Bottom. Oh my God. Tonight I'm going to rock you. Well, you're still 4 feet and you still got your baby teeth, but tonight I'm going to rock you.
Oh man. Yeah.
I've just never laughed so hard in my entire life watching that movie. And again, that's what it boils down to. It was so funny because comedy of errors, not knowing the difference between inches and feet. And then when Stonehenge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's a masterpiece. But the Break Like the Wind, which was the second one, like the 1991, I do believe. It was kind of like the joke was well played at that point.
Sure.
They came back for a third time and a fourth, I do believe. But
aren't they talking about another one too? I don't know.
Which could be funny. I mean, the way the music industry is now and what we have to listen to, it's almost time for another Spinal Tap because it's so ridiculous now anyway. Everything has gone stupid, right? Talking about my mud flaps, you better believe it. So did you guys have a favorite Spinal Tap member? No, you don't, do you? I've got the dolls. I've literally got the dolls because I'm.
Well, Christopher Guest, he played Nigel, right?
Nigel.
No, he was a favorite. Well, this one goes to 11. He had that skeleton, the skeleton shirt. Like this is an actual.
Shows my exact internal structure.
Like, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Viv Savage, the guy who, this is deep cut Spinal Tap fans, but Viv Savage, when he's in the bath during the, no, not in the bath, that's Mick, but when he says the line, and I This is my mantra. This is how I live my life. Have a good time all the time. That's my philosophy, Monty.
Yeah. Perfect. Yep.
I mean, what a way to live, man.
Yep. All right, Phillip, you're up again. What you got?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Canadians being kooky. I will bring out Annihilator. Let's take this off so we don't get so much glare.
Just don't re-sleeve it on there, rookie.
Oh, I heard that's a big no-no.
That's a big no-no.
Anyway.
No re-sleeving.
I saw Metal Theologian do it, but don't tell anyone I saw
He's a
it.
pro at it, though. He doesn't sit there for 20 minutes going like this.
I can't watch
in.
him hold records because it just makes me feel bad. It's just like he doesn't even like I'm pulling out now. I'm touching the record. Fuck you, right? But he's just like he's got this grasp like one of those like rigged claw machines at the carnival.
Except it actually grabs something instead of nothing. Yeah.
I got old sausage fingers, right? Annihilator was one of those bands, like not so much on the first album, although I do laugh at it a lot, especially in the video for Alice in Hell when there's that giant Raggedy Ann in the in the doorway. It's like, how do you make that scary? Also, Randy Rampage's hair just looks so dry.
Split enzy, yeah.
It's like, stop the video. Can we get some conditioner? Stat, right? But yeah, so that one. But when it came on this one, which Craft Dinner, which I got to tell you, man, when I was a kid, this was fantastic. It made me laugh so hard. And then by the third album, Set the World Afire, when they started doing, oh my God, what was that song? I can't even remember, but they did a
The ballad.
No, the ballad was them just trying to get laid. I'm not going to fault anyone for that. All right, everyone had a ballad at that point, but it was like not Schizos Are Never Alone because that was on the first one. I can't remember. Either way, man, these guys. When I go back, I find that album right there in particular doesn't age well. I don't like it so much as I used to, but the first one I really do like. Lick my left pump. So yeah, Annihilator is just one of those bands, and Jeff continued to get crazier and kookier on further releases. Did you guys keep up with? I'm a craft. Yeah, I eat Craft Dinner. Okay, I'm reading this here right now. They added in beef and onions to your Craft Dinner. That's some bougie shit right there. I just like the raw dog, man. Just you guys call it macaroni and cheese, though, right? So you guys must have been so confused by the whole thing.
No, we had enough carryover that it clicked.
It was mac and
folks.
cheese. Mac and cheese, yeah.
That worked too.
Yeah.
But,
all right. For me, it was Alice in Hell. I had that one, and I only recently, in the last 5 years, picked up that album. And those are the only two Annihilator albums I own. I did get a couple for promos throughout the years, but it was during my death and black metal phase where I couldn't be bothered by anything so mainstream. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
you went through that phase, did you?
I went through that phase, yeah. Too cult for my own good.
Yeah, I went through a little bit of a phase like that, but I'm going to tell you right now, there are. Don't get me wrong. If there's anybody out there, don't poke your nose up at this. There is some fun stuff on there. Phantasmagoria, Stonewall. See, that's when they started to get into that eco metal, when all the thrasher guys started caring about the environment, and I just. I didn't care. I threw garbage on the road. Fuck them.
Right.
Oh, Indian crying.
Yeah. All right, Alan, what you got next?
All right. We may come back to some culinary issues a little later on. We'll see how things go. That may not be the last time that, we have to have food featured. But I'm going to go with a little more low-hanging fruit. It's already been mentioned in the chat. So we can't escape this one. One of those album covers that you look at it and you know what they were trying to do, and it just they didn't really do it. It's a Into Glory Ride.
That's what I thought you were going to bring up. That's where you thought I was going.
Oh, that's fair. Yep, that would have been fair. But yeah, good, very good album. A lot of people make it a little higher than I do. I do like it, but this cover is just, it really does it says so much about the early 80s that people thought, this was the way to accurately portray some kind of post-apocalyptic barbarians where everyone's hair is still poofed, everyone's squeaky clean, all their clothes look like they just came out of the laundry, but yet they live in some kind of hellish landscape of a future in a nuclear Armageddon scenario. But we all still look nice and clean. There's the Conan vibe, but it's just like, yikes! No, you got the poofy boots. You gotta love big fuzzy.
My
boots.
mom had a pair of those poofy boots. I think everybody that lives in the snow regions of the world.
Yeah, when you're shoveling your driveway,
lived through the 70s, had the poofy, the hairy.
When you're
boots.
shoveling your driveway, you got to have the big poofy boots, and you got to pair them with something that you dug out of John Travolta's trash can, for a disco suit outfit.
We get those boots in Labrador like every year when we do our taxes.
This poor guy back here, you figure he's crouching, hoping that maybe he can hide behind one of the other guys, but they at the last second kind of spread themselves out a little bit more, so he was completely exposed. This guy over here, just 5 years too early for American Gladiator, 5 years too late to be an extra in Ben-Hur. I don't know what was happening there.
Joey's greased up there, man. Just
the funny thing about this is the lack of muscles. They got this garb, and the muscles aren't quite there yet. It's just
I would kill to have that body, by the way.
Oh, me too, but
Yeah, and again, this would have passed in most, so if it didn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger, you would have passed one of these guys off in one of those kind of, bad, knockoff, Conan movies from the early 80s. Sure, get one of these guys, slather him up, put him in that costume, and it's totally believable.
What is Eric Adams wearing? A purple cast? I mean, what is that?
It's some kind. I'm assuming some kind of. It's the gloves of metal, Marty.
That's not on this album.
It is, and it's definitely.
Oh, it is on this album. Shit, you're right.
You don't know when a falcon is going to come your way.
Yeah,
I didn't realize Eric Adams was into falconry. Yeah.
When your trusty bird spirit animal comes back with key information about where Skeletor is hiding out today, you got to be able to have him come in and feed to that info. Otherwise you might not get back to Castle Grayskull in time.
Explosive action is so 100% correct. I discovered Man-O-War in 88, 89 when I was heavily into the Deathstalker films and Beastmaster, especially Beastmaster 2 Through the Portals of Time. It's like, so I got that clean barbarian, you know what I mean? He's rapey, but he only does it because he doesn't know any better.
Right.
That's just his foreplay. Right. But yeah, I was very much into that Mark Singer like body. It's too bad that I wasn't gay because it's squandered on Man-O-War.
Well, there's still time. You're not dead yet. So
yeah, yep. I appreciate it. Chin up. We can all be gay still yet.
There's still time.
But yes, we'll just say that Man-O-War made the right move and getting Ken Kelly to kind of pick up the slack there and work on that kind of image for them in the future.
Right?
Let's keep ourselves off the covers from now on, and or if we're going to be on there, let's make sure it's properly processed by an artist so that we can maybe let's do it Kiss Destroyer style now instead of actually posing there and having this happen again.
But for humor wise, come on now, guys. They were doing just right.
They were doing just right. They sure were.
Yep.
All right,
Marty. I'm not going to leave those pumpkins hanging there forever. I'm just going to tell you, sooner or later.
Well, it's coming.
You got to pop that.
I got it. Don't worry, it's coming.
But Halloween.
We'll get the atypical stuff out of the way here. This is a very popular band, and the reason why I picked this band, Steel Panther, is the fact that there isn't a video. If I'm flipping through and they come up in my algorithm, and I'll watch an entire concert from these guys. They're so much fun. They're just complete tongue-in-cheek misogyny, death to all but metal, Asian hooker, community property. I mean, there's boobies at their concert. They're funny. Their crowd interaction, their crowd work is funny. They're just a funny mock glam band, but they can actually play. Satchel, the guitar player, he was in Rob Halford's Fight on at least one of the albums. I don't remember which one. I don't have any of them, but he was one of their guitar players. And they started out as a cover band. School of Metal, they were called beforehand, and they became a parody of glam metal. And I don't ever listen to the CD, but every time I come across them on my, like I said, my algorithm, the feed, I'll like them live at Wacken. It's just fun. They're fun. They're good at what they do. They've made a career out of this. And it's good. It works. In this case, the comedy works because they're leaning into it. They're all wearing wigs except for maybe one of them. The singer doesn't wear a wig, but they play the character well and they nail it. Steel Panther, thoughts?
Here's where I'm an extreme hypocrite. Like when I be surly and drunk and someone would that happens quite a bit sometimes in my circles when we're listening to tunes and someone puts on Steel Panther, the stick up my ass. Like, turn off that false shit. I say
it is false. It's false. Yeah.
When I get drunk, then I really become that false metal guy.
The gatekeeper.
The gate is
gatekeeper. I am like
you
that.
shall not pass.
So when people like really like throw stones at me, I get it, man. I totally understand, and I'm with you. But Steel Panther are hilarious, and it is so rooted in the truth because, like Spinal Tap. That whole, like, I don't like to say hair metal. I'm not comfortable with that. Glam metal. They Asian Hooker is a masterpiece, and they have made me laugh out loud. They have offended me at times, and that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Right. You know when someone's doing something right, when your mouth is what the fuck did you just say? Right. Well, oh. Right. So yeah. No, I'm with you. I get it.
I think I'm gonna start working on the back hair metal. Start a band in back hair metal. What do you guys say? You down? Do anybody want to join? Anybody out there looking to start a new band? Back hair metal.
Marty's one for the.
Go ahead.
One for the back mullet, completely shaved tits, but hanging all the way down to the crack in the back.
The tits got hair too. I'd have to actually shave them. So
you got to spike your back here. Right?
I'm gonna do some dreadlocks back there.
I want hair on my shoulders like Homer when he was shaved.
I got that too, bro. It's awesome. It's great everywhere, but on my head. It's awesome. Anyway, Phillip, that's enough about me.
Next, we're going to be talking about who had the biggest pubic mane.
Yep.
I'm not. This is a throwaway one because I got better things to talk about, and you really don't want to hear about. But speaking of Spielberg Panther, David Lee Roth is probably one of the most hilarious dudes I've ever seen in my life, and
the guy's crazy. He's crazy. Yeah, but he broke his brain with drugs. Let's be honest.
But that's
he broke
okay.
him.
Thank him. I want to thank him for his service.
Yeah.
Because I was teaching a first aid class the other day, believe it or not.
No.
Yeah, I teach St. John Ambulance, and in between, I always put on music in between, and I put on these kids were, I think, they were like 17, and I put on Yankee Rose. You should have seen their face.
That's a good song. That's a good album. That Eat 'Em and Smile is a good album.
Look, the title of Ladies' Night in Buffalo alone, it makes up for that song.
Yeah.
Right. But I was just watching him, and this guy that I was working with, Murray, I was like, hey, which is a fantastic name. Anyone named Murray, you can trust. I was like, Murray, get your ass down here, man. Look at these kids. They're like horrified because they don't want to say any homophobic slur, but they couldn't. They thought that they were all gay. They thought that I was making fun of gay. And I was like, no, man. He's very heterosexual, I think. But when he was doing when he had what was those like in the Olympics, the twirls and shit, and he's like, oh my god, man, it's just so fantastic. But I don't think I recruited the kids that day, right?
No. Okay.
But David Lee Roth, that's my throwaway one. One that I will say who had a dark sense of humor, a very offensive sense of humor at times, but I think we're absolute masters. The Mentors.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
I saw them once after El Duce died.
Oh, why would you do that? Why would you?
Well, they were at a Milwaukee Metal Fest, and I was covering it for Metal Maniacs, so I had to poke my head in and at least lay eyes on them. They weren't very good.
Well,
were they ever very good? I mean, good. They were always the Mentors,
Yeah, but I've enjoyed them so much. I can't believe I'm going to ask this question using this name, but was Sicky wife beaters?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
El Duce was such a horrendous human being. Just
He
looking
was
at
just a vile person for
yeah,
sure.
but I bet you he was somewhat nice. But like this cover, I mean, oh my god! I mean, man, like the comedy. I'm going to turn that around. I don't want you guys to get in trouble. The comedy is not so much that picture. The comedy lies in leading up to taking that photo, I think.
What do you want us to do? Yeah. Say that again. When am I going to get my money?
Yeah. I'm in some. Yeah, with the mentors, I have no doubt that those were actual real prostitutes.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, to think that they were Kurt Cobain's favorite band, I believe it. Yeah, so I will say the Mentors, man, like, and Up the Dose, and this is the only Mentors album I own because I snoozed on them, and now they're just too expensive.
Oh yeah.
What isn't?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Awesome. Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Alan.
All right. I'll go with an old favorite. I've shown it, but it's been a while since I've shown it. It's been requested and I've held off because you can't show the same stuff too frequently or it loses its charm. But yeah, humor in heavy metal goes back even into the new wave of British heavy metal. Lots of bands just did singles. A lot of them just had very simple picture sleeves, but some of them took the opportunity with that picture sleeve to do this.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. What the hell?
Funnily enough, there was a reason they did this, and someone explained it to me a while back that in the UK there was this just again weird British humor traditions that when you went on vacation to the beach, a very popular thing to do for decades was always to get a postcard featuring a fat lady in an old-fashioned bathing suit to send back to your mates, like with the wish you were here, having a blast, ha 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 kind of thing. And for some reason, this band, Big Daisy, decided that concept is what they were going to play on for their picture sleeve, for their one and only single release back in the day.
I wonder why they never took off. I mean, really.
There's a million reasons. Music is not one of them. The music on here is quite good. Both songs on it are really solid. It's a little more maybe in their 70s prog. Yeah, there's a little Rush in here maybe. But, so it's not chains and leather kind of stuff. But yeah, very good band. They did some demo recordings that are also very, very strong. So they had the musical ability, but you really get the sense with something like this, the band maybe understood that they weren't going to conquer the world. They were not going to be chosen to join David Lee Roth on stage at any point in their career. And so they're like, we're making a small single on an incredibly small label for LEJ.
Totally.
Let's just have some fun with it. And let's just, again, we're like, hey, here's a copy of a record, having a blast. Wish you were here. What would say that better to folks in the UK than one of this kind of picture sleeve artwork? So gotta love it. And just to make it better, this has become one of those really sort of higher dollar sought after rarities from the whole scene too. It's you would expect it to, looking at it, you expect it to sound horrible and cost $5. Then you play it and it's great and it costs hundreds of dollars, and it's just like, and sometimes things just line up very, very odd. But you gotta love it. It's most people will never hear a note by this band, but everyone will remember this picture sleeve after they've seen it.
Well, here's the thing about comedy too. Like when you see that on an album cover, you're like, you kind of cringe. It's like, ugh, gosh. But if you saw that airbrushed on the side of a transport truck, like a Black Maria or a Big Bertha or whatever, I mean, it's hilarious. Then you're like, oh my God, that's awesome. I'd love to own that truck.
Yeah.
Right. It's just in context.
Yeah, as for again, for a metal audience, it doesn't it hits the button wrong. It doesn't tickle the funny bone for folks. It's like, what the fuck are you doing with that? Why are you wasting? For some folks, it's like, why are you wasting your opportunity to advertise your band that way? You could have had a giant metal fist on the cover or something. Tell us you're metal. It's like, dude, we're making like a couple of hundred copies of this thing. We're going nowhere. It doesn't matter what we put on the cover. We're not taking off. Yeah. We'll do it the way we want to, and we'll have some fun with it. Can't fault them for that.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys get recognized for this show? Like for and like metal?
I have too. Yeah. Go ahead, Dallin. Tell your story.
Because this has humor.
I recently got recognized for the first time out in public. I was at a record store about a month ago, and somebody walked up and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, holding up for the fist bump, like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And of course, my brain's going 1,000 miles an hour. I was just like, "No, I do not know this person. I'm just going to have to wait for some kind of context clue here." And just like, love the show, man. I go by, it was Thomas Channing, who's in the chat sometimes. I was like, oh yeah. I knew he was a local guy, but we had never crossed paths before. But yeah, so he spotted me. We chatted for a couple of moments, and that's been it. One time.
That we did the show in Kentucky last year, opening for Panopticon, and there was 3 people came up, wanted pictures taken. So my wife hates you, all the money that I watch your show all religiously and all the money that you've cost me. It's ridiculous. Can I get a picture? So, I mean, it was fun. It's cool. It's cool to be recognized, and we appreciate the people that watch for sure. What about you, Philip? Have you been recognized in downtown Labrador?
Downtown Wabush. Yeah, no, I'm infamous. It's not even like a surprise.
It was before the show, I'm sure. Like, oh, there's that guy. There's that guy. You're known as that guy.
That's the guy that always gets McDonald's in the drunk tank on Saturday morning. Thinking that my order.
You're the guy who loaded up the entire VHS store into his car when they closed down, aren't you?
You just dumpster diving at the VHS store, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't count in Labrador because they just know me as that puppet, that artsy puppet guy, which is the worst.
Here lies the artsy puppet. That's going to be on your headstone someday.
Artsy puppet guy, right? And like you can tell that they won't leave their children with me, even though children and I get along great. Babies love me the most because when I take my hat off, they think I'm a giant infant, right? So, but yeah, it's funny, and the reason why I kind of brought that up, segue, I just got a call last night at 2 a.m. Who calls at 2 a.m? Right? They were like,
every time you get a hold of me via Messenger, you're typically drunk and sitting in your backyard.
yeah, just burning shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that night.
Anyway, 2 a.m.
I got a call and they were like, "Would you like to come to the Sci-Fi Rock Convention, which is in St. John's?" So I'm being asked to go there, and it's they usually get like people from like a background actor from Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel like that wrestler guy Virgil who just recently passed away.
Ferengi number 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Ferengi 3 and the ghost of Virgil, right? And me signing. If I sign one, I will be I will get a picture of me signing something. But the problem is now I got to come up with my own glossy 8x10s. I might show some nipple.
Some headshots. Yeah.
I just don't know how it's going to take. Like, it's just because nobody really knows me. Like there's Cult, and then there's like, well, someone who's a little bit amusing online. Right? But anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing anyone from Canada if you want to fly out.
Cheers,
there.
Metal Kev. Yeah. Saskatoon, where's that at from Labrador?
That's not. It's a bit of a distance, man.
Isn't it right next door? Don't y'all know each other there?
Oh yeah,
it's like Australia.
He's 7 houses down.
Yeah.
Saskatoon.
Right.
You Americans and your geography, I'll roast your asses on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. All right, Alan, you've been giving me the layup. I'll take it.
Yep.
You can't get by without mentioning Halloween. Ryan, drink, Ryan. Okay, where do you start with this?
It's really hard to drink when you're inhaling that much, Marty.
Right.
You don't want him to choke.
The whole humor in this stuff was kind of tongue-in-cheek when you look at the band photos in the early, the Kai years where he was singing. It kind of changed. It got a little bit more lighthearted and fun on...
God forbid.
Yeah, with when Kiska entered the band, and it isn't all the time. It's just a few songs here, like Dr. Steen, Rise and Fall, Brain Fart. But yeah, Future World, there's like a lightheartedness to that song too. I don't want to say it's necessarily funny, but their art direction was although this is cool because it's actually drawn. It isn't computer generated garbage. It's actually someone drew this cartoony photo, but I don't know. This bothered me a lot less when I was younger because I just loved it. It sounded like Halloween. It's great. The funniness, or the humor in it just kind of, it was weird and off a little bit, the German weird humor. And nowadays I could take it or leave it. I just as soon not. It still creeps up once in a great while, but it isn't as extensive as songs like Dr. Steen or what am I missing, Alan? What's on?
Dr. Steen and Rise or Fall are the two big ones. From,
the two big ones.
The Keepers. But yeah, I mean, they did plenty later on with, Mr. Ego and
Mr. Ego. Yeah.
But
it isn't offensive to me, but they're all like Dr. Steen. If it's one of those songs, if I ever never heard again, I'd be okay. I love it. It's cool, but it's still kind of tired of it. They always play it, especially now that Kiska's in the band again. It's like, okay, play some other songs. But yep. It infected power metal as well.
Still not as funny as the pumpkin-headed man on the back of Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
That is so bizarre. That whole art thing is so bizarre. Yeah, craziness.
Yeah, Halloween's worth mentioning because a lot of power metal bands that followed in their wake tried to do it similarly, and Halloween was one of the few that really pulled it off well. With some other bands, it felt either a little too silly or a little too forced. With Halloween, for whatever reason, it just kind of worked. Maybe they were better songwriters. Maybe they were more clever about it. It may have been just part of their personality. Kai has said in interviews, and others have said in interviews, even in the very early days, they were a much more easygoing band than a lot of others. They were, even before the Keeper eras, they weren't trying to be badass heavy metal guys. They weren't trying to walk into a room and give everybody the impression that, look at us funny, we'll kick your ass. They were always smiling in press photos. They're like, we're kids. We're having fun doing this.
Too.
We're pretty good. We know we're kind of good at what we're doing. That, because, their career, definitely had, a pretty steep upward trajectory. They're like, why wouldn't we be happy and have fun with it? What's wrong with that? It's perfectly natural. That's our personality. So I think that played into them being able to use humor and have these silly songs and have them still work without just becoming, very, very camp or just throwaway tunes.
But again, Germans. I mean, there's a lot of German bands that have always had a great sense of humor and seemed like they were having fun.
Tankard.
Well, okay. I don't own any Tankard records. Not one.
That's craziness. At least the first three, you'd think it would have wandered into your collection at some point.
You think it would, but it was just one of those bands. I think that I just kind of got on my nerves just from the visual and that green goblinish drunken elf they have.
Right.
Which everything, like their album covers are flawless, really. I mean, it should be right up my alley. But that's the hypocrisy of this. And every one of us here tonight are going to say something about an album or something we find funny that the other one's not. And we're going to contradict ourselves quite a bit.
Yep.
Right. No. That's the funny part.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, Phil. Because with anything, then when somebody says it's funny, there's going to be somebody else who says, I don't think that's funny.
Yeah.
So you're very right. You can't really draw any kind of hard line here because something will make a bunch of people crack up and other people can just be like, that's stupid. What the hell are you even laughing at that for? So, yeah.
No, for sure. I like Police Academy movies. What's wrong with me?
I love the fact that I can still turn Aaron onto some music every once in a while. I'll take this as a sweet, sweet victory. I've turned him on to a couple things, but that's a good one right there. Cheers to you, Aaron.
Well, I broke him down on AOR. I broke him down to a little bit of AOR. One time he just wanted to stab me in the forehead. Now he's like, I will shake your hand if I have to.
But only if he has to.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Metal Theologians episode on Toto. That'll be sweet.
Not to get on a side tangent, but I mean, that's one of the very cool things about Aaron. First, he's not afraid to revisit something he didn't like. And second, he's not afraid to admit if he's like, well, okay, I like this now. He's not so stuck on his opinions that, he's afraid to say like, no, I said this sucks. I can't possibly admit to liking it now. Yeah. He doesn't get his ego tied into, his stance on records. I'm just like, yeah, it turns out this band is really good. I just I've shit on it for no reason in the past. My bad. It's awesome.
I love
I wish more people
Yeah.
had that approach, and didn't just feel like my foot is down. It can never be moved on this album. I said it was bad once 30 years ago. I must always say it was bad.
The fact that he
30
has a lot of
years,
respect and love for shitty records too. I mean, he loves them for them being shitty, and
But
I love that.
He'll instantly admit that they have issues. He doesn't try to defend. He's not someone. I hate. It bugs me as a pet peeve. These people that love something that's bad, but then try to insist that it's golden. And you see it with sports teams all the time. There are those sports fans, they have their team. It doesn't matter how much their team sucks that year. They have to insist. They're just like one play away from dominating the league. It's like, no, they're not. They're horrible. Just be honest about it. You can still like them. No, it's no problem. But don't sit there and tell me that, they went, 0-15 because, it was the ref's fault every single week. No, just be honest about it. If it's bad and you love it, that's cool. Don't try to pass it off as a, world dominating awesomeness when it's clearly not.
Simon reminds me, it gives me great chuckles as well on Explosive Action when he talks about movies, and he's so he just delivers it very deadpan sometimes. Some of his descriptions of the movies and the albums.
I get to edit his reviews for Heavy Metallurgy, and he flips me off and calls me all kinds of names in between songs. It's great.
There are so many. It's funny. We're saying how we're all gatekeepers and we're so serious and stuff like that, but the majority of the metal guys that I watch on this so-called vinyl community are actually pretty hilarious. I mean, there's that whole vibe where everyone with you guys. When I'm listening to Alan, I feel like I'm attending a lecture from a really fun professor, and I'm learning from him. When I'm watching this Metallurgy, it's just it's like you're hanging out in a bar talking. Theologian and Explosive Action, I feel like I'm hanging out in their bedroom and we're just chatting.
Yep.
And I hope that I give somebody some sort of vibe as well, but a feeling that just you feel comfortable and relaxed, and you know what I mean. That's the dream.
Yep.
Pants
Mission accomplished.
Pants are optional.
Pants optional. Yes. All right.
Well, I think we're back to Phil then.
Yep, we're back to Phillip.
Kooky Canadians. I will get this. Hold on a sec now. You don't have to forgive me. I gave up drinking for a few hours.
What were you thinking?
I know, stupid. This is a Canadian band that really.
Don't be a quitter.
Don't be. Party hardy, Marty.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
This is a band that really rubbed people the wrong way.
I never would have heard that band if it wasn't for Canada's Much Music and their Pepsi Power Hour.
Oh, when they opened for Iron Maiden in '88, Seventh.
I wasn't there. I didn't see them.
I wasn't there too, but I was hip to the scene.
Right?
These guys were fun, man, and I can just wait for the little comments from the back row crowd, right? The tricycle. I mean, the gymnastics on stage. The songs were fun, hokey at times, but the videos for Stand Tall, where they're melting LJN wrestlers and they're making their own records. It was just so much fun. And before this, if you go back to the first Killer Dwarfs, I mean, the song Heavy Metal Breakdown. Have you heard this song, Heavy Metal Breakdown?
Okay. Helix Heavy Metal Love pops into my head, not Heavy Metal Breakdown.
If you're going to get me to talk shit about Helix, you're talking to the wrong dude.
I have nothing but love for Helix, brother. It's all good.
Or Kick-Axe. Who one of the villains on my show, Spectre General, is named after. Remember, that was their secret name on the Transformers soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
The more you know.
Right?
It looks like Crystal Pepsi fans. That's funny. That's good. Bunch of fucking smart asses here. Good.
Hey, we hit over 100 people in the chat tonight. Everybody, you all rule. Cheers.
Awesome. Glad folks are having fun with it.
Go subscribe to Heavy Metal or that too, but Chromium Dioxide Radio. Please,
and Black Leather Eyes. Check him out
Black
for his
leather
hairline
eyes.
alone, man. For his hairline alone. He's a handsome man. Not as I don't think he's as handsome as Johnny Quest's dad, though. Mr. Mike Hansen.
Oh no, that's gonna stick. That's gonna stick.
Marty, how many subscribers do we need to do the episode where we rank the sexiest VCLT YouTube members?
We could do
Think
that.
about
we
it.
Could
It's
do
a
that. We could do
rhetorical
that tomorrow.
question.
We could do that tomorrow. I'm down.
No. You make the people pay for that kind of content.
Oh.
You don't give it away for free.
The heavy metallurgy OF.
Yeah. After hours.
Patreon behind the paywall.
Like bracket style, and line them up. You know.
Oh, funny. But yeah, Killer Dwarfs, man. I've always enjoyed them. I've seen them live. I interviewed the drummer, and I gotta say,
they only gave you the drummer. That's sad.
No.
I'm kidding.
We interviewed the bassist from Morbid Saint as well. So Phillip,
there you go. Yeah.
Who actually was running a pizza place. That wasn't any exaggeration whatsoever.
I interviewed Sacrifice's bus driver once. Once.
By interview, do you mean you were hanging out in the parking lot and asked him if he had a smoke?
My cousin, we were in the Cauldron Jam space, and Anvil showed up, and he's not a metalhead at all, and but he does love his dope, which was a perfect combination for Anvil. And he's like, I have very strong, thick Newfoundland accent, and he's like, to Reiner, he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" He's like, "Want to go out and smoke a draw or what?" We're smoking, and my cousin Toby came back and he's like, "Hey man, he's right on. I think he likes metal." I'm like, "Man, dude, do you know who that is?" No, but funny, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, the Killer Dwarfs, not as tall as what you think they were.
Right on. I smelled a Mentor's the Deuce fart once. Oh boy, I bet you that smelled like a dumpster at a hospital dumpster.
But yes, I'm speechless right now. Like, there's nothing you can say to that. But what a memory.
What a memory. It's
Scent
imprinted.
Yeah, scent is one of the greatest memories. So if you smell that, I don't know where you would smell that again to bring you back to El Duce, but interesting.
Phantom smells. All right, Alan, what you got next?
Okay. Well, we've got Phillip here from Chromium Dioxide.
Oh.
You expect some content to be a little more PG-13. So, and I would hate to disappoint him. So we'll go with this thing next. Because, yes, I'll just have to explain it. Australian band named Vice, V-I-C-E. I'm hoping Phillip knows where this is going.
Oh, I do.
You should. Yep. They put out one EP in 1985. And it has, a hideous album cover. Even by 85 standards, this was kind of like, nah.
Says you.
Says me. Says apparently, maybe not Phillip, but anyway, it's this. It's called Daddy's Little Girl, just to rub your nose in it. Take that for what you will. But this isn't what's fun. This is not what's funny. I mean, lots of covers were like this.
Not like that, man.
That's a good one. That's a wow. That's a shocker.
Amazingly, too, this band is still considered active, according to Metal Archives.
Like you said, every band is still active according to Metal Archives.
They did some albums later on. Their MA bio says that one of the members was stabbed on stage in 1986. Kind of got to wonder if it was like the father maybe of the cover model or something.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mike. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up in terms of funny isn't because of the cover art or anything like that. It's because, again, they made one 4-track EP back in the day. It is 16 minutes long. So you have 16 minutes, 4 songs to make your case. This is your artifact. This is your legacy that you're leaving behind. Your footprints on the moon, your Apollo mission statement. And they, of course, like many bands did, they included a cover song. Okay. Now
Is Blackie Lawless in this band?
I've given you the setup. You've seen the cover. You know, you get a sense of what kind of vibe they're going for. It's the mid 80s. If you were this band, your name is Vice, you're going to use this cover image. What song would you cover to put on this EP? And if Philip, you already know the answer, then you don't get to answer. But Marty, I put it to you. What would be an appropriate song for this band to cover for their, this is their shot, their one EP?
Oh God.
I have no idea. I have no idea where to take it. Where? Just
Where would you take it? Chat. Where would you take it? Yeah, that's we're playing guessing games here for a minute because I mean, what song? What would be an appropriate cover for this band to put on this release?
I love that cover. I love that cover.
16 candles.
Fact.
Like a virgin. Papa don't preach.
On the Christian soldiers. Any of these might have been better choices because
oh God, here it comes.
Here goes the guys. So they didn't even put it on the B side, they put it on the A side. Track 2 on side A is a cover of Stop in the Name of Love by the Supremes.
Oh my God.
And it's done in this kind of power pop delivery where it's kind of, it's not really metal, it's a little upbeat and peppy, but you get the sense they were wearing skinny ties rather than chains and leather.
The piano tie.
Yeah, and it's just like, why? What bet did you lose that you have to include that as your cover song for this? You could have covered something by Van Halen. Probably didn't have the technical capabilities to pull off a Van Halen song. There's so many. You could have picked, some raunchy AC/DC song. Anybody can play AC/DC. They chose to cover "Stop in the Name of Love" by the Supremes on this EP. And that alone will always make me just die laughing at the existence of this record. Some of the other songs on this actually are not that bad. The EP definitely has an identity crisis, as if you couldn't tell. You might say they have daddy issues, but they're, one song is, kind of a faster one. One song is a little slower atmospheric. Then there's a Supremes power pop rendition. So it's kind of all over the place. But their choice of cover song just has always been hilarious to me. I just gotta say, even their current, updated band shot on Metal Archives, you see this picture and you're like, yeah, those guys would so have made that album cover and called it Daddy's Little Girl.
Is Isan in that band? Is that guy on the left Isan?
No. This is like Isan's, brother-in-law, the one who gets in trouble for the stuff that, the inspectors find on his phone. And then he claims that somebody else he loaned it to, and his buddy must have looked those things up. These guys definitely look the part, but these are the people responsible for Stop in the Name of Love being covered by a metal band.
I bet you every one of those guys has nothing but red light bulbs in their house.
They all have tiger print sheets on the heart-shaped bed that no woman has ever laid on.
In their defense, with a cover like that, which I lost on eBay several times, I wanted that album so bad. Stop in the Name of Love actually is probably some solid advice. Yeah. It's up there with not quite, but up there with Aaron Rod's choice to cover "I Want to Take You Higher." If you haven't heard that, woohoo!
Wilson, it's a thing, Wilson. It happens. Again, a couple of the other songs on it are not bad. It's not like the whole EP is terrible, but it's just like, of all the songs you could cover, that one. It is so out there that it's just funny, and that's why I picked it for tonight.
There's no accounting for taste,
right?
Absolutely not. All right, Marty, what you got next on your tickling your funny bone over there?
Well, I broke the seal of some power metal, so I'm just going to live there for a minute because let's be honest. There are two camps within the power metal scene. There are bands that actually take it pretty seriously and just create, European style of heavy metal, a lot of double bass. And then there are bands that lean into the cheese factor. I feel like a hypocrite because younger me would, if I knew that I bought this with my own money and listened to it a lot and enjoy it, I'd be kicking myself in the balls. My younger self would be kicking my older self in the balls repeatedly. But let's just get out of the way. Angus McSix and the Sword of Power.
There it is.
I want those action figures so bad.
Dude, this is the cheesiest stuff, but there is no denying how catchy it is. It is pop music made for metalheads. Let's be honest with each other here. And you got the Masters of the Universe tie-in. You got the dude from Orden Ogan dressed up as Skeletor. You got, the gal from what's the name of that band? Oh God, I forgot it. I've had too many White Claws to remember the name of the band. They're a good band. She's a good guitar player. But I mean, this is so cheesy. The first half of this album is mixed with a little bit of EDM goofiness in the keyboards, but then about the halfway point, it turns into just straight up power metal. But it came from this. He came from Glory Hammer, which we've got grown ass men, dressed up as space Avengers. But you know what? This shit is catchy as well. And my kid likes this stuff. So it's actually fun to listen to metal with my kid. And the fact that he thinks it's silly and cheesy as well, but still loves it, I think he's on the right track. But, yeah, I mean, I can see why people get up in arms about this, but there's no denying how huge it is in Europe in particular. This charted. When this came out, it hit the charts in Europe. America, it's kind of laughed at and snuffed, like whatever. But it's fun. This is fun. Have a little fun and listen to some stuff that's silly. And Alan, you've heard this album. It doesn't suck, does it?
No. It's fun.
It's a fun record.
Yeah.
It's a fun record.
Can we just point out that Mike just gave you 20 pounds in Canada? If you guys gave that to me, I could get a small little used compact car.
Mike, thank you so much. You rule, sir.
Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. You guys are going to have to take me up for a big crunch combo after this, at the very least.
But, yeah. Unrated flick. I'm glad that inspired that because, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh,
and TJ, of course, got my back with Terrible. Thank you, TJ. Just wait till I pull it for Album Club. He's a tough sell.
He's tough, but he's fair.
He is tough. He is very fair. Exactly. Yeah.
I find him fair.
Yep. So, yep. I've got one more power metal pull here as well, which is even sillier, but here we go. Phillip, you're back. Laser shooting dinosaurs. That's all I have to say about this. Laser shooting dinosaurs. Anyway, go ahead.
I wanted to, before we came up with this, I'm ordering now.
There you go.
And don't think, Hanzo, I didn't get that Billy Jack Haynes reference. I enjoyed that. You're right.
Hey, what's up, Jurgen?
Oh, Jurgen's up, is he? Ooh.
He's up. He's a night owl. He's a night owl.
Party's hard. Before we chose on the comedy album, I suggested that we were going to do how did this, like, buy-in file. How did this end up in my collection? Which I think could be a hilarious topic, but too late. Now I'm going to save it for my show.
I was going to say, because I don't know. I've got, you know what? I've got a bunch of, like, a 2-foot stack I haven't listened to, but it's not filed away. It's in a different part of the house. Anyway.
Oh, I've got some buy-in files, let me tell you. And this one, I have no idea how I got it, but I can see why I bought it. What's going on there?
Is that the arm from the back of the first Manowar album?
It's funny because you think it's an arm. I thought differently right away.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what it is, but yeah.
Just sailing on through. Through his, what's the thing in the back of your throat? Your uvula?
Epiglottis.
Oh,
yeah, epiglottis.
Anyways, I think they do a cover of Iron Man. I've never listened to this in my life, and if there's someone who does have this, I'd be interested. This looks like it's water damaged, but it's just semen. Or
he's got an albino pubic hair.
Yeah, exactly. But it's complete on the other
cover's
side.
so good they had to put it on the back too.
Yeah, and you're in for some quality when it's just this on the inside, right? The liner notes. Do it right, sweet Lucia Stiletto Nights with a K, which I think might be a like a, what do you call it, a gang? Oh, but look at this. Stiletto Nights, wherever you
You
go.
still haven't listened to that yet? It seems like you better keep that one out and maybe spin it tomorrow. Well, go ahead. Alan knows. He knows. What?
Oh, no, I had a question. Is it Knights with a K or with an N?
Yes, it's with a K. So this is definitely some women that are part of like a group like the Lizzies or something in the Warriors, right? They're in stilettos, but wherever you go. So I'd like to know. In fact, that's your homework. Oh my God, he knows it. Are they German? Oh my God. There's a second one. Is that the one where the guy's balls are resting on the chin now at that point?
It's like a creepy fistful of metal. All right. Good pull. So I think you should
pull, yeah.
you should spin that and report back.
That's all our homework tonight. As soon as the show is over, get on there and let's go sailing with Sharon.
Let's go sailing for sure. All right.
Fun trivia fact too. That's the only record ever released on a 9-inch format.
What? Oh, you son of a mother. You know, I'm drinking. My brain is getting slower right now.
It is. It happens to me too. I'm starting to slow down here.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Hermit Wine.
Hermit Wine.
My wife gets that when she's cooking. She's like, grab me a bottle of Hermit. And I'm like, I can't buy that. I'd rather buy you tampons. Hermit. That's when you've kindly just confessed to everyone you've got a drinking problem.
But worse than Boone's Farm?
That's a date rapist drink. But Hermit is just like, you don't even bother. You're just out in the graveyard by yourself.
Back in my
write a novel.
Back in my formative years, I would get 2 bottles of Strawberry Hill, Boone's Farm.
Stop there, please.
Put them in the freezer. And throughout the course of the night, drink both bottles. It was a magical younger days when I didn't care about much. Anyway,
I brought a bucket of liquor.
Is that how they sell it in Labrador, by the bucket?
By the bucket, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's much cheaper now.
Yeah. All right, Alan, what you got?
Okay, I'm digging back into the singles box for another band that you get the sense they may have realized early on that it wasn't going to work out for them, so they just kind of took it whichever direction they wanted. American band, not sure where they're from, but we have the awesome name of Throbbing Wolf Pack, which already we're off on the right foot.
That's what I call my third date. Baby, I got a throbbing wolf pack, man. We got to go down by the lake.
It's the 3-date rule.
You ever had Boone's Farm, baby?
Brought to you by Boone's Farm and Herman.
Yeah.
Let's put some chair on in the background and screw in the red light bulb. But Throbbing Wolf. The fun doesn't stop with the band name. The song on side 1 here is Wayne's Workout, which has this kind of weird heavy disco beat to it. It's getting a little bit into the kind of.
So is it like a Angus McSix album song?
No. These guys wish they were Angus McSix.
Like Italian disco.
Yeah, I can't really make out much of what the heck's going on in the song whatsoever, but that's okay because they managed to lower the bar on the flip side, which is called I Love Me. And the song literally begins with the lines, "For my 16th birthday, I got a full-length mirror." The entire song is about them like grooming themselves while watching themselves in the mirror, including the lines like, I look, I see my perfect lover looking back at me, and around the corner we play peekaboo. And I'm not making these lines.
Is this an
up.
English band? Is this a new wave of British heavy metal?
Like,
No, this is an American band. Discogs says this was released in 1985, so kind of right there in the heart of the decade.
Where?
It's all.
Please say Toledo.
It's kind of like novelty record, but it's not quite novelty enough. But wait, there's more. Because I wouldn't want to disappoint. I have a promo photo of the band.
Oh.
Here we go. This is Throbbing Wolfpack.
They've got more muscles than Manowar does on the Into Glory ride.
They would have kicked Eric Adams' ass back then. Yes.
That looks like an X-ray of my organs.
But
that's your liver screaming to get out right now. Where's the exit? Yeah.
We've got this guy over here, who definitely stuffed more than 6 band members into their lockers during high school. We've got this dude who I can only assume really, really, really wanted to be Eric Bloom. There's, the fellow back here who, probably was like, the only one in his hometown that, had, an anime collection in 1985.
Thrown out a lover boy because his bowl cut was below his headband.
And now tell me, but what is going on with this one back here? It doesn't look like he's actually part of the picture. It literally looks like it's just like a photograph.
It looks like Tony Hawk.
But it looks like it's photoshopped in or something. I mean,
I'll tell you what it is. It's a waste of a perfectly good orange.
2 perfectly good oranges, but it does something with the photo quality there. This looks like some kind of deep fake from 1985 that they needed a 4th band member and they made someone up and just copied and pasted him in. I don't know what to make of this.
Is this Cyndi Lauper? Like, there's that kind of like, there's a girl there. She looks like a girl. If not, he's absolutely beautiful.
You're right there in the center of the whole thing.
Beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
It's got that like
I've had ones.
Going for that mid 80s androgynous kind of look. You're correct, Philip.
There's still time, Philip. You're not. You can still be gay. There's plenty of time.
Keep them coming.
Yeah. We've got bad news and good news regarding Throbbing Wolfpack. The bad news is, I'm sorry, folks, but there are no copies currently for sale on Discogs. The good news is that if a copy comes up for sale, the highest it's ever sold for is $8. So you've got a chance to add this to your collection real cheap if you can't resist.
I have
a
good feeling that's worth a lot. It's going to be worth a lot of money after tonight. It's going to be like 12 of us going to be willing to pay white hot $50.
Yes, there are now 4 people in the world that are going to drive the price of the next copy up to $26.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like I said, I don't know if they were intentionally trying to make a novelty record. It sounds a little too structured to be a pure novelty record, but at the same time, I can't imagine what kind of market they were trying to play for, even just like on the local scene. It's almost like they were doing this kind of, very camp take on homosexuality, but I don't know how that would have worked in the mid 80s in the middle of like nowhere America. So it raises more questions than it answers, and that's part of the fun of it, I guess.
I think somebody earlier brought up the Blue Oyster Bar from Police Academy, so I think maybe that's the audience.
Perhaps. There we go. But Throbbing Wolfpack, probably the first and probably only time it will be featured on the VCLT YouTube.
Yeah, that's never probably seen the light of day on YouTube yet, as far as people showing it. Throbbing Wolfpack.
Throbbing Wolfpack. You could do worse. All right, Marty. You said you have some more power metal fun for us.
I think this is my last one of power metal too. Oops. Okay, I reviewed this for Heavy Metallurgy, and this album made me see the light. I went and bought all their records. My kid loves this band. I got this record for him for Christmas, and I'm talking about Twilight Force at the heart of Wintervale.
It looks like D&D, like issue, like 3, third edition.
Okay, this is an artistic rendering of them in full LARPer regalia, but they actually wear the fake ears and stuff on stage as well. So it's one of those things where it's like, how seriously do they want to be taken? But the fact that the music rips, it sounds like if Emperor was a symphonic power metal band, is what this sounds like. And like I said, they get all dressed up in their LARPer gear. They go out with the elf ears on stage, and they got the singer from Rhapsody of Fire, which is its own hilarity as well. But man, this why like I said, my younger me is shaking his head in disappointment, and but you know what, I've had so much fun getting into this stuff, and it is so good, it's so talented, and it's uplifting. It makes me feel better when I don't maybe feel that great. So say what you want. I don't know if it's funny. It's just one of those things that you just kind of look at and shake your head. Here's grown men dressed up like shredding elves. I don't know.
If it makes you laugh, is it that bad?
No, it's not. And I actually love the album. I think it's great. All the records are great. So, and again, my kid loves it too. So we have that we can share together. Go on a car trip somewhere. We're listening to good music.
Yep. Yeah. No, music. They're solid.
What'd you say, Phil?
That's you, man.
Right.
My son has way better taste in music than I do. If you listen to what he listens to, he's he's so with it with now and but it's not like pop music. He likes a lot of deep cuts of a lot of different. He likes a lot of Euro. He likes a lot of Euro trash crap. I don't like either, and he likes Ninja Sex Party. He's talking to me about. He wants to take over Chromium when I'm dead. He told me. Which is very nice.
Son of Barbecutioner.
Yeah. And he said that if I want, because he's been very upset that I don't have a YouTube plaque, because he's watching a lot of shows where people have
Me
YouTube
too.
plaques. Yeah. Well, I was like, I don't think your dad's going to get a YouTube plaque. But he's like, well, I'm going to be on the next episode. So I was like, oh, are you? He's like, yes. And we're going to be discussing Prime. I was like, Prime energy drinks, chromium dioxide. Right, we're going to see how that's going to turn out.
It's like the NFT thing all over again.
Yeah, I've got nothing but people steering me in the wrong direction.
Right. Maybe you get the Jake Paul bump. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Or the Logan Paul bump.
Oh, is there two of them?
Yeah, they're brothers. Yeah. One of them's got Prime and the other one does something different. I don't know. One fights. They both fight actually.
I heard
anyway.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, I just went, so it's Philip's turn again.
I've showed this on my show before, but I'm going to show it again. This is, look, I can't take it out. I can't take it out of the wrapping, lose the hype sticker. I know that Metal Blade is completely horrified by this cover. They are it's so embarrassing to them, but to me, it's hilarious, and it shouldn't be. This is one of those situations of how everyone's quiet. It's like, yeah, that's problematic. It sure is. But
I love the rapist stalker shirt though. That's pretty sick.
It reminded me of Booger's Who Farted shirt in Revenge of the Nerds 2. When I do props, I work my ass off to age them properly and to find the right things. You couldn't find someone in Los Angeles to find a shirt hold it back a little bit, man. Just a few tears, right? You know what I mean?
Their idea of a rapist attire is kind of barefoot, bell-bottom jeans, perfectly ripped up shirt, and a ski mask. Okay.
On a beach in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Which, I gotta say, maybe we're jumping to conclusions. Maybe this isn't a rape. But
maybe he's asking for help. He's reaching out help, so cold.
Excuse me, would you like to talk about the Church of Latter-day Saints?
Have you accepted Jesus into your life?
I have very, very pale complexion, so I have to wear this mask. And then she passed out, and he helped her. But a great album.
He took your CPR class, and
that's when I teach the kids about CPR. I show them the back of this, how to not hurt your back.
Right.
And if you're
lift with your legs. Yeah, lift with your legs.
Always lift with your legs and wear a Who Farted shirt. But I really like this album. Is it Jeff Prentice? Yeah. If memory serves me correctly, yeah. Do you have this, guys?
I don't have it.
I do not have that one.
I've always marveled at the cover, but I've never pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Predator to get back together again. Everyone else is, so why not Predator?
Sure. Yeah, Atrophy just got back together with one original member.
And that's one of those bands that I joked about. It's again, how did this end up in my collection? They are multiplying.
Right. Yep.
How? It's X Factor comics.
Uh-oh. Phil's glitching.
Oh, you're glitching. Back. Don't you blame me. You're glitching. It ain't me.
It was your glitch. Oh. Jurgen's got everything. He's got everything. All right. Alan, you're up.
All right. So many things to choose among. Let's go with this one next. This is a one I believe I mentioned at some point in the distant past. band out of, I believe they were from Washington or Oregon. Pacific. I could cop out and say Pacific Northwest, but let's check. Let's get it right. Washington. There we go. Okay. They made one demo and one single back in the day. Band called Max Planck.
I don't own it. I want it.
Now, right away, yeah. Now, the demo was just a vinyl. This is
one I've never seen you show. You've been hiding this in the archives.
There's all kinds of stuff hidden back there I haven't shown yet. There are many things throbbing.
You're playing the long grain, the long game. I love it.
Absolutely. There's a lot of things throbbing back there among my wolf pack. So that came out wrong. Sorry.
It came out right.
But yeah, so they did a demo. Years later, it got the. I was trying to check and see what label put this out. Oh yeah, Buried by Time and Dust. So quality label there for the demo reissue. Right away, when you name your band after a physicist, you're going to go into some interesting directions. Who
would know that? Who would know that other than you?
I'm going to talk about Lester Maddox next.
We could get into Lester later. Would not get that deep. We'll see. Got to hold some things back for April. But yeah, so goofy name. Just they made one single, but they didn't even get a full single. They split a single with Kill Decor around 1985. Really good single. Both bands are quite good. But the demo is another one. It feels like maybe it has a little bit of an identity crisis, but the music's actually pretty good. They have some very epic metal tracks on here that build up. Would definitely appeal to Greek metal fans on tracks like Roar and Northwind. But then you have a little ditty called on side 2. You have a track called Star Scream. And like, okay, this could be some kind of sci-fi, cosmic horror monster thing. Nope, it's about the Transformers.
I knew it.
It is, and the song is literally about the Transformers. With Starscream being one of the 3 original Decepticon jet planes, that were, and Starscream was the whiny bitch one who wanted to, always kind of stab Megatron in the back, but never could pull the trigger.
Yep.
But what puts it? So you have a metal band, around 85. So I mean, they're doing this like in real time. This isn't like an homage to something they saw when they were kids. This was like on the air at the time, and back then it would have been weird for guys this age to be watching cartoons. Nowadays, nobody thinks about such a thing, but at the time, it would have been really kind of big social faux pas for anybody over the age of 10 to be watching Transformers. These guys were aware of it enough to actually make it into a song. And just the cherry on top is that, for some of the vocals, the guy literally sings in this high-pitched voice that is almost a dead ringer for the voice actor of Starscream. So they're not only doing the content, they're literally trying to mimic the way that particular robot sounded on the cartoon. That's funny. That's just really funny. Why would you do this? I don't understand anything about it. I mean, you have this band name and you're admitting to being dialed in on a cartoon show made for people 10 years younger than you. Is there and you're singing like a cartoon robot? Is there? It's like they don't want to get laid after their concert. They're actively trying not to. Just to make sure that they were never going to get any kind of deal or anything. The last track on the demo is also up, so it's just like, look, we are not interested in signing to Sony or CBS or Epic or anything. Just leave us alone. We'll split the bill for this 7-inch single with the guys from Kill Decor, and we'll call it a career. Okay, everybody's happy. It's actually a really good demo overall. It's got a cult following for a reason, and it's not because the guy can sound like Starscream.
Guys, I gotta log out and come back in. I'm having some issues.
All right.
Okay, go right ahead. We understand. So yes, Max Planck, the single, one of those become kind of a Aaron worthy from Seattle. Technically, well, I do not know It says Port Townsend, Washington on Metal Archives, but somebody with Washington state geography is going to have to fill us in on whether Port Townsend is a Seattle suburb or not. And Aaron's right. Yeah, it is a very good record. The demo is great. There's a reason Buried by Time and Dust went to the trouble of putting it out on vinyl. It's cool stuff. It's just funny that they have a song about Transformers.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
All right. Well, Marty, do you want to move to yours, or you want to wait for Phillip to jump back in?
Oh, that's fine. I'll just show.
Or
these.
if you want, I'm going to run and grab a snack real quick. So you hold down the fort for just a minute.
Sure. I'm going to go next with yeah. Let's talk. Well, we'll wait for the guys to come back on that one. Let's go with Australia. If Simon's still watching, Blood Duster, straight out of Northcote. Probably my favorite of the bunch. First one, Yeast. And of course, the third one was Shall Not Be Named. But these guys are a grind band, death grind band from Australia. They just had a very sardonic sense of humor. Rough and raw, a little bit of pornographic. And he's back, and I'm showing Blood Duster albums.
Okay.
They even have.
Did you?
What's that?
You thought I took off?
No, I knew you'd be back. You wouldn't leave us hanging out in the breeze.
I'm doing Grown Man Record Night now, so I got to go later, man.
Right on. It's a Grown Man. Yep. Cheer, and anybody that has not seen Grown Man Record Night, it's another staple in the VC community. Mickey Bananas and crew are great as always.
Show me, what do you got there? I've never heard of this band.
Well, you
Oh, got birds. You got some weenuses
you got
going on there.
some diseased weenuses. For
Wow.
sure. But these guys were always kind of funny and weird, but they ripped. Super sick, grind-ish death metal with the Australian sense of humor. Let me see here. It's been so long since I've spun these records. I'm not even going to lie to you because you got the Sky Valley on the back. What the hell's the name of that band? Why can't I remember it? Caius, Sky Valley.
Oh, okay.
Parody cover on the back. They're just a good band from Australia, and they're very much humorous and porn store stiffy, pissing contest. I just finished sucking off metal heads in the men's urinals. I mean, goofy. But yep, I figured it was worth a pull, and I probably need to spin these guys again. It's been years. It's been since these records have come out.
Nice.
Half the time they had no clothes on. There you go. Yep.
Sorry about the delay there, guys. I'm in Labrador, and we're in the middle of a bit of a snowstorm right now.
Wow, nice. Yep.
No worries. I had to duck out too to get a quick snack
Pokemon.
here.
You
No,
got a
just get
Pokemon session.
quick snack. Nothing
eating?
big.
What are you eating?
Huh? Potato chips and ketchup.
Oh my god, we had this conversation.
We've had this conversation before.
Hi, Phillip.
You Americans don't get ketchup chips. I don't understand it, but I don't want to get up.
Is that a child? Is that a like a toddler's plate? I love it. Ellen has a toddler's plate.
we still have a few laying around. Yeah. Hey, don't want to get the ketchup on the desk.
True.
He's got some cheap bourbon in a Hello Kitty thermos.
Right.
If you ever wonder what like a backstage pass at a Defenders of the Faith concert cost back in the day, it's this.
Yep, I guess so.
Oh shit, man! This is the funniest cover. What were they thinking? Oh my God Almighty!
Yep.
And he's not liking it at all.
No, he looks like he's not enjoying it.
Not enjoying it at all. The photos of the band are hilarious, but I don't know if you can see this guy, but he's my favorite. Oh shit. Not a bad album either. honest with you, but one of the funniest album covers, up there with Daddy's Little Girl.
Oh man, that one's just as good as Daddy's Little Girl for sure.
But yeah,
This one should have been titled Daddy's Little Boy.
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, that's the Defenders of the Faith tour back pass.
Yeah, that's
Rob,
how you got it.
I know Rob's watching right now, and you know I love you, dude. You know, and you can do that to me. You know, I love you that much. But yeah, that's wild.
What's the chromium dioxide review on the new Invincible Shield? Everybody else has done it. What are your thoughts? I have not listened to it yet.
Oh, I have.
I heard it's good.
Yeah, I hate the production though. God damn, I hate the production. Look at this. It's everyone's like that barbecutioner is gay. And
Yeah.
I always said I wish I was, like when I was a kid, like boys sleepovers. You know, when you were all kids and you were like wanting to have, you were all like horny for girls and you were renting like screwballs and shit like that. Can you imagine? I always used to say, I was like, imagine if we were all gay right now. We could all go to town on each other. No one's getting pregnant. It would have been amazing.
Yeah. Right.
And everyone at the sleepover was uncomfortable.
Who invited the Phillip kid? Who invited that guy? God.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So what's next?
There you go.
Alan's fucking ketchup chips.
Got to get the ketchup off my fingers before I can pick up a record.
If only you had a kid's dish for your fingers.
Yeah.
If only.
If only.
All right, let's go in a different direction with this next one.
Please.
It's not only, songs and covers and stuff, they can be funny. Sometimes the way people write about records and review them can end up being quite hilarious. And there's one review that has always stuck in my mind. That the first time I read it, I'm just like, this is the greatest phrasing ever assembled with words in the English language. I laughed my ass off. I would literally like save this to, anytime one of the few metal people I knew was, over say, hey, you got to see this, and shove this review under their face.
A David Horn review. Here we go.
And it was a thing. So yes. So we're going into an old issue.
10 fucking skulls because you advertised. Yeah.
SOD. Is it issue 6 from 1995. And the album review in question was for Rotting Christ's Non Servium. So right here on page 50. So here's where we're at. And it gives it a pretty favorable review. It got my interest. Took me a while to track down a copy of it, probably like 4 years. But we got there. Anyway, the phrase that really did it for me is right here, kind of in the middle, where it's trying to describe like the guitar, the guitar sound. We'll read so here, quoting: "Fluttering guitar riffs flow like the blood of 1,000 virgins over a landscape littered with the remnants of a Christian race now enslaved in the dark valley of Hades, while gangs and drums summon dark warriors from their graves to infest the world of mortals for all eternity."
Wow. He was thinking he was like sending in an Academy Award. I
just remember reading that for the first time and thinking, that is very vivid and specific.
Yeah.
there will never. It was, but it was also effective because as soon as I read it, it was like, man, I got to hear that guitar sound. That's amazing. I don't care if I like the album or not. I don't care if I agree or not. The fact that it moved this person to assemble those words as a means to try to describe the sound and convey the sonics of that to us using vocabulary.
The 1,000 virgin blood. Yeah.
I got to check that shit out.
How many skulls did that one get?
Now, they didn't do the skull ratings in this issue. Oh, wait, no, it did. Sorry. That's over here.
Did.
9 skulls for Non Servium.
Wow, yep. Nice. Yeah.
So, I get very favorable review. But yeah, that
size 24 font was always the classic, easy on the eyes.
Which those of us, who are not exactly known for their eyesight did appreciate.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yes, I mean, so again, this was 95. We're coming up on this is 29 years old, and I still knew exactly where to go to look for it when I was trying to think of things, that struck me as very, very funny about heavy metal. I wanted an example of a review that was just so over the top ridiculous. I'm just like, where's SOD number 6? Let's go find it.
Right. All right. I can't believe we've gotten this far without mentioning this band, but here we go. My 2 favorite albums from this band, we've got Hello and Scumdogs of the Universe by Guar.
There you go.
And yeah, their humor is inventive. They built a world around they built a mythology around their characters, and what a great photo on the back here. And like I've told the story before, I don't want to tell it again. I'll tell it again because I'm old and I repeat myself. At the first ever New England Metal and Hardcore Fest, and Guar was about to go on. Slimenstra came in full regalia out of the bathroom and was going up the stairs to the next level, and I was following her up the stairs. I was within 3 feet of her perfect keister, and it was glorious. Anyway, you got Black and Huge on here. This is when they were a little more punky, and I really, really enjoyed it. I found out about this band. Does anybody remember the show Night Flight?
Yes.
I remember seeing an expose on Guar on Night Flight. It was during this era, or before they had the album out, maybe even. I'm like, wow, that looks awesome. It's just these guys are all decked out in the garb, and they got this mythology about them, and it's kind of cool sounding punk rock. This came out on Shimmy Disc. But yeah, this is a great punk record with a bit of metal to it, and you got funny songs, and then they get a little bit more metalized on Scumdogs of the Universe. There's some great songs on here, and you even have the Al Jorgensen and Paul Barker touch on the song Horror of Yig, Hermes Pan production. Which was Al Jorgensen and Paul Barker from Ministry fame. So there's a little bit of star power on here, and how do you hide money from a hippie? Put it under the soap. You got this Executioner on here. There's a bunch of silly things that are funny, but the songs are great. And of course, Odorous' vocals were super unique, kind of punky but metalized, and I always enjoyed the crap out of these 2 albums. And I like some of the albums that they put out afterwards as well. I love their aesthetic. I love their DIY attitude. I love their creativity. From the movies they made to all the crazy shit they do live. What a great band. What a great band.
The VHS alone blew my mind as a kid.
Sure.
I can only imagine this had a huge effect on a young barbecutioner.
Oh, you have no idea. And, it's pretty blatant. I've been in contact with certain people that were in Guar or have worked with Guar, and they see the similarities there. I adored them. I thought that they were so fantastic. They horrified me at first. When I first came in contact with them, I was not ready for that kind of like mean-spirited, dark humor the way I perceived it. Like, have you seen me like on the side of the milk carton?
Yeah, have you
Holy
motherfucking
Jesus.
seen me?
I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, this is
Have
dark,
you
man.
seen me?
Well, yeah, but then I saw Sleazy P Martini, and I fell in love with Sleazy P Martini. I thought it was the greatest character I had ever seen. And yeah, I love them. I have that record, and I didn't go too much further past. I think I have one more album after that, but
there's some good ones. There's some hit or miss ones, and kind of them phoning it in. But there are some really good records here and there.
But it's a group of artists, and you can really see it's so tangible. Again, when I work on my show, I don't want a green screen. My life will be so much easier if I green screened.
You green screen some stuff, don't you? Like the TV screens and stuff. Don't you do a little of that? Some
Yeah.
backgrounds.
The TV screens, yeah, I have a picture of them, but what I do is, I will put it in there because I don't want to hook up VHSs and have to.
Yeah.
I learned from my mistake from the first one. Very rarely do I use green screen. green screen except when I'm using miniatures, like the garage scene where they're working or the bedroom scene.
Mhm.
And I plan on doing a lot more of that. So to say I don't do green screen, but when you see green screen, they are tangible sets. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to have a background. When I was creating this show or Life After Late Fees, I was not going to do a fake video store. I wasn't going to do a fake radio station. Everything had to be real. And let me tell you, getting some of these like editing equipment and the the discs and all these other pieces, it was expensive.
And actually, for people that don't know, that's a functioning that all that
Oh,
shit
it's fully functional.
you like actually broadcast, don't you? On occasion. I mean, should I maybe not have said that?
CHFL and Wawish. Yeah, I do, but it's not really a popular thing. That's just something for me. But yeah, this works.
Yep.
And I did get my start like in radio at CHMR at Munn University in St. John's. So it's kind of a love letter to that as well.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, Guar played a huge role in influencing this whole bullshit that I do.
Yep. And I got to say, over the years, I've seen them multiple times over the years. Sometimes they were great. The last time I saw them was here in Traverse City, just a mile up the road. And Odorous, Dave Brocky was just kind of mush-mouthing his way through it. And I'm like, oh, man, I wish he enunciated a bit more, you know. But it was still fun. You know, you had the slaves out there putting their substances on the crowd. And
yeah,
it's just great. What a great show. What a great fun show.
Buffalo. I loved them. I couldn't believe how much fun they were. Yep. I can't imagine doing it without Brocky now. No Sylvester, no Sleazy P. And I'm nothing against them. I mean, everyone's got to eat, and that's the gig. But it's
and if you're going at it from the fact that it was an artist collective, it's still an artist collective. You know,
it very much is.
They're still doing the thing, and they're keeping the spirit of it alive. Yeah, I mean, you kind of lose, you know. David Brocky's vocals had a character to it, no doubt. But, you know, if it's picking up a new realm of fans and that whole shtick is still going out on the road and, you know, sliming people up across the country, that's cool. It's cool.
It is cool. And it's necessary as well. I really do believe that.
Yeah. There isn't enough, you know, there's a lot of people in jeans and shorts that stand there looking at the floor while they play. You know, I do that too. But to actually have people go out and perform, that's awesome. That's really cool. There's an actual show. You're going to see a show.
Yeah, which is exactly.
But all right, Phillip, you're back. Do you want to say something, Alan? You were going to say something. No.
Oh no. Just the early Guar stuff
is
very fun.
Chips.
I'm done. I'm snacked up. But no, early Guar very fun. Yeah, it does. I think what you were saying, Phil, about not being ready for them at first. It helped me because I had like the right person introduce me to Guar. So like, you have to check this out. But they were very much into like all that kind of making their own homemade armor for reenacting type stuff. So they could kind of like walk me through a little bit of it, because otherwise I would not have known what the hell to make of it.
Yeah, everybody needs a Guar Sherpa.
Matt was my Guar Sherpa, and it worked out well. So yes, and you just can't hit a band that did Slaughterama.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, it all boils down like the cheesy power metal stuff. It's okay to have fun, and that's what Guar showed you how to do. Yeah, they made some cool music, kind of punk themed music, but it was fun. It was fun. You got to laugh out of the tape, and the music is structured in such a way you can come back to it and not get bored of the shtick. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. It's still kind of funny, but you start paying attention to the song once you get over the joke. You know what I mean?
Now, I don't know anything about this band. Sorry, Alan. I just want to say this. And this doesn't count as my pick, you mothers. Green Jelly.
I have them wrote down too. Yeah.
You do? Of course you do. I never got that, even though on my VHS, when I used to tape the Power Hour, Headbangers Ball, they've been on several times.
Yep.
I always call them the poor man's Guar, and I don't know if that's fair. I don't know. I don't know anything about them.
All I know is the songs I heard I didn't like, but they were totally ripping off the Guar. They're ripping off the Guar thing for sure, and they're still doing it. They still have. They're still out playing, I guess.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The only thing I really know is I know the album cover. I know Little Pigs, which I thought was an amusing little Play-Doh sort of video, which was fun. You know what I mean? But it just, at the time, I rolled my eyes. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't really like this. Right? But I'm going to take us on a little bit of a different direction, because when we talk about comedy, like license, you punk and am I still here?
You're breaking
You
up a
are.
little bit. You're
Getting
frozen.
A little robot-y there for a second.
Oh, you're back. You're back. You just snapped back into action. All right, start again.
No, the one thing I will say is that punk and hardcore had a lot more of a license to get away with silliness. And getting back to
Yep.
Anthrax and SOD.
Yep, I have them on my list here too. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course you do. You know what I mean? SOD, speak English or die. That's hilarious. Now, imagine me wearing this on a T-shirt when I was a kid in Quebec. Didn't go over well.
No.
No. But I always found the punks got away with murder. And this is not... But I found that Anthrax wanted it both ways. And a lot of these other bands, these crossover bands, like the Ramones, the Descendants, with that kind of imagery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, didn't they have an album called Enjoy that was all about farts, the Descendants? Yeah.
I don't have that one. But, like, yeah, the gluey porch treatments, that sort of, like, goofy... You know, they're not taking it serious. And then again, the kings of it all, in my opinion, Fear, they got away with that sort of thing. Bomb the Russians and shit like that. And
bands like Sloppy Seconds.
Yeah. Why did the punks, who are like humorless, worse than metalheads in some ways, and gatekeepers, you want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Those guys can be miserable sons of bitches. But yet they appreciated a lot of that kind of. You see those hand drawn covers that are just as cartoony as Dr. Stein or Steen, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they get away with it?
You know, the funny thing is too. Try putting out that SOD album or an MOD album or a Carnivore album in this climate. How would that record go over today?
Well, if you're stupid enough to take everything at face value, then my heart goes out to you, because you're really going to miss out on some seriously fun music.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
And I'm not a mean-spirited person, and I do, when I celebrate these albums, or you know, if anything that's like the rapist on the cover of Predator, or the gayness of Black Diamond or whatever like that, I don't ever want to be taken as hateful, or, you know, I respect this stuff and I like to have a laugh with it. You know what I mean? So please don't take me the wrong way. You know what I mean? But yeah, what is this?
Oops, sorry. I wasn't supposed to share that right now.
That's
my next pick. Sorry.
I was hoping you were going to have that. You were listening to Sharon while I was talking.
No, just looking at the cover and dreaming.
Yeah. But yeah, I just found that like nobody has a sense of humor anymore. Everybody takes everything at face value. They don't look, you know, oh look, Cine Arcadia's just waking up.
What's up, Tom?
They don't.
Thomas. Yeah, I think we have to start getting smarter again, but I think the movie Idiocracy is coming to life at a frightening pace. At a frightening pace.
Go away. Busy baiting.
I'm baiting.
Baiting.
Yeah, Prime is that thirst mutilator.
Right?
Yeah, so anyways, just be cool. Everyone have a laugh, man. Don't take everything so serious and at face value, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? But the punks get away with murder.
Where wasn't pleased about SOD's Celtic Frosted Flakes, but he said, whatever happened to SOD at the end?
Yeah, well, Tom is
What a special guy that guy is.
Yeah, he is definitely special, and the comedy that he brought us on Cold Lake alone, I would excuse him.
You'd think a guy, between the Mexican radio covers and the Cold Lake, you'd think he would have be able to appreciate the irony on some things. But
no shit. Hold on, let me rock a piss here because I drank 1,000 beers. I'm gonna die.
All right,
no problem. Go right ahead.
Alan, you were up.
I am up. Let's see. What should I show? Well, I'm going to do one quick kind of throwaway one because there's not much to say about it, and it's been mentioned in recent weeks. I think Aaron brought it up at first. But in terms of one of the things that, Phillip mentioned as, ideas that kind of fit into this topic were like, bands dressed, very inappropriately for the environment of their photograph, which immediately made me remember this one, the from past weeks, the Street Child EP with the the barbarian woman looking out across the frozen post-apocalyptic landscape with her big furry boots and big furry cloak and wearing a thong.
I like that ensemble. I'm not gonna lie, it works for me.
This one again, to me, it screams that weird perception we had of 1980s, what the world would look like after Armageddon. That yes, everybody would be toting guns and be sad and miserable and angry and fighting all the time, but they would all be very clean and have this just very odd fashion sense. It plays into kind of the whole He-Man thing of, I will wear nothing but a cod piece and 2 bracers, and I will use these to block every single projectile weapon that comes at me, and I'll never get a scratch on my perfect skin. And it's like, why did we ever think that's how a post nuclear landscape would work? It's like all the dweebs these days who are almost like banking on going into some kind of civil war or Armageddon scenario because well, it'll be great, we'll finally weed things out. I'm just like, stop and think about it. Do you really think it's going to play out for you the way it plays out in a Mad Max movie? No, you're going to be one of the folks, grubbing around in the dirt for worms to eat with no teeth because someone with a bigger gun came along and killed your entire family, and now you're just crawling around waiting to die. You're not going to be hanging out, with attractive ladies wearing thongs and fuzzy boots, looking across the frozen plain, wondering, how do we solve this one?
I like the Farrah Fawcett hair. That's my favorite of the whole thing.
Again, very, very 80s with all of it. Even though the entire planet is apparently frozen solid, she still gets her hair done somewhere. Don't know. But
I don't want to be bold or arrogant, but I do believe that I would be like like the guy second in command to Lord Humongous if shit goes to hell. I really do. They were like, he's a personality hire. Let's keep him around. Right? And he has no problems with becoming a cannibal. First week, if someone tells me I can't have a hamburger, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and that's that's my problem with those folks. They all, and so you're being realistic. You're thinking, okay, I'll be one of I'll be on the top tier of the flunky list.
Yes, yeah.
So many of these nut jobs think oh no, I'll be when the storm comes, I'll be the guy who's the alpha. It's like, no, you won't. You'll be one of the little bitches they hang upside down and use for like a walking blood bag. You're not going to be the Lord Humongous. You're not taking over jack shit. You'll be another Phoebe that just gets ground into the dust, and then you'll be thinking, oh gee, how'd this go so wrong? This isn't like the Dirty Harry movie. This isn't like all the westerns I watched. This actually sucks.
Well, I've never fired a gun in my life. As a Canadian, I've never held a real gun in my life, but I feel that in Mad Max times, I'd be the guy who they'd be like, "There's a lot of bite marks on this dude. That's definitely Phil."
Thanks, Tom, for the $5. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it, Tom. Yes, Tom. Marty and I might have a project in mind for you in the near future.
Do
you want backstage passes at Defenders of the Faith?
Yeah. All right.
Yes, my Street Child rant became longer than I thought, so I'll use that for this round and pass on to Marty.
I've already kind of I fucked up here, but this band, if they think that this isn't funny, then more power. But a lot of people listen to this crap. Van Canto. Who here has heard of Van Canto?
I have no idea. You didn't spoil it for me, I can assure you.
I've heard the name, but I'm not placing it right now.
Well, this is a band that does they do a cappella metal. So this is the band where you've got all these guys. These guys don't play guitars. No, they go jung 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 jung. They got like 2 or 3 singers. They actually have a drummer. They have someone playing drums, but the bass, all the guitars are dudes making the sounds with their mouths.
I almost forgot this existed.
So if you want to hear something really funny, I would play it on here, but we would get completely shot down immediately monetarily. But go check out the cover that Van Canto did of Metallica's Battery.
Oh God.
So
Why-
it starts
why
off with
that
them
one?
going, battery, 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 battery. It is the worst. Oh my God. It is so stupid. This is so stupid. And the fact that they've got bazillion, you go on Spotify, they've got a bazillion, yeah. Isn't that pretty much? But it's, their monthly listeners is ridiculous. I don't listen to this, Jurgen. When we thought of funny stuff, every time I've tried to watch a video of this online, it's just hilarious. I cannot believe people like this crap. I mean, this is even too cheesy for me, which says a lot. But
This is like a mother-in-law birthday gift. It's like if you're in Ontario, it's like they're going to be playing at Massey Hall, and you're going to love it. It's heavy metal, but a cappella. And it's like you're going to die in an old age home. I want you to know this.
yeah, Therion, if it was really, really dumb, I mean, this takes the cake for dumb. Everybody, when this is done, you want to hear something funny, go check out some of the Van Canto videos that are up, and they're a big deal. People like them, and it's the grown-ass men making guitar sounds with their mouths, and help us all. Yep.
It really is the kind of like, heavy metal that, that Karens want to listen to try to prove that, they're still like, not past menopause.
I would have to take acid for that. I feel that would be good at that point. Or I'd have a panic attack.
You could join this band. You could be the 20th member in this band. You could be the, I don't know, you could be the scratch master.
That hurts me. That hurts me so much.
Check it out. Check out Van Canto for a face palm experience.
Don't check it out for very long. Make sure you're like, this is one of those cases, like if you accidentally pass out during it and it keeps playing on repeat, you will be permanently scarred. So make sure that you've got somebody covering your butt to, hit the stop button just in case things happen and you're incapacitated.
Van Canto covered Fear of the Dark, and it's the worst thing. I've never heard it, but I'm kind of curious now. Fortunately, only Germany seems to bring. Philip was talking about the Germans and their sense of humor.
They've got it, man.
This is a sense of humor thing that actually kind of stuck. I don't get it. Anyway, Philip, you're up.
I'd like to just take a little moment, just a little breather for a second. Does anybody have this book? Speaking of humor,
No.
I think a lot of our sense of humor were forged by the back pages of the comic books, and this is where I cut my teeth on becoming a class clown. I used to order everything from the back of those. And this is like what was advertised in the comic books. This all looks familiar to everybody. Come on now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they show you what you ordered and what you got. So it's like 7-foot Frankenstein. It was just a picture or a fold-up poster of Frankenstein. Or, you know what I mean? And it's, let's just see here.
Oh, so this book, they actually went through and ordered the shit and then showed you what they actually got.
It's an absolute collection of,
oh, cool.
Bullet holes in your car and stuff like that. The smoking cigarette or the loaded dice and what you actually got and whether it was worth it or it wasn't. And the one on the Kung Fu Master is my absolute favorite, because what you got in the mail was just a pamphlet how to do kicks, like how to kick someone in the balls. But yeah, this is, I think that your audience would love this book.
Tom.
The penis enlarger.
You got a magnifying glass.
My mother told me something horrific the other day along those lines. She was like, do you know
regarding your penis?
Well, yeah, that was the subject matter. She was like, when I gave birth to you, because I'm the 7th one. She had 6 miscarriages, just for humor here. Right? So I was the 7th one. And anyways, when I was born, the nurses were all gathering around whispering. My mother was hemorrhaging because she was dying. She bled so much. I was 13 pounds, 8 ounces.
Did you have antlers or something? Did you come out with antlers?
Anyways, the nurses were like
moose
talking.
antlers.
My mother could hear them saying, "My God, do you see the size of his penis?" Which was honest to God, right? But unfortunately,
was it like
I
barely a penis or mighty?
No, it was
mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
No,
penis,
it was mighty. But apparently, I just plateaued. That was it. That was peak.
You grew into it real fast.
I peaked in high school.
You peaked at 3 years old.
3 days old. But yeah, it was a powerful beast too. So, anyways, yeah, I wanted to show you that book, everybody, because I think that belongs on everybody's coffee table. Now, I want to talk to you guys about this. Is funny, but not so funny. We all know Priest's trilogy, which I always call the Star Wars trilogy of Screaming, Defenders, and Turbo with Doug Johnson art, right? It is the Star Wars trilogy. I stand by that, right? They line up perfectly. I loved when YNT attempted to do this. Which,
Summertime Girls. Oh.
No. We're not going to talk about Contagious. That's my private good time.
I used to have that tape. I
don't give a shit. I love Contagious because I like to party. All right.
Well, you should check out some Angus McSix then if you like to party.
Look, when I'm out in the backyard drinking and it's creepy as hell and I could be eaten by wolves,
it's the kind of party where you wake up with an action figure in your ass, but it's still a party nonetheless.
Contagious, baby. It's outrageous.
That was the price of a backstage pass to the Turbo tour.
But YNT's trilogy of mechanical beasts, like there's no Metallion, no Hellion, but this Mean Streak Cobra, all right? Then you had the Black Tiger. I don't know if anyone's realized this before, all right? And then their greatest mascot of all, In Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the video for this?
Which
Twisted Sister, D. Snyder is in the video,
okay.
And it is the clunkiest. Sorry, I can't figure.
I had the one with the metal dude on tape, and I had the one with the vampire biting the metal chick on tape.
Yeah, well,
yeah, those are the two I had.
Yeah, but this one right here was this was my first YNT record I ever bought. They have a giant. You're excited about
finally. That's what he stayed up for, getting hammered. You got hammered for this. Finally,
151 episodes later.
There are 6 of us now that are losing their shit. Finally, the time has come. I actually have a T-shirt that has all 3 of these on them, and
all on the same shirt.
All on the same. It's too much. It's just way too metallic. But I love the idea of these 3 metallic beasts.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead, rocket piss.
PP.
But yeah, Alan, or anyone out there, please look up the video during this era where D. Snyder is backstage and In Rock shows up, and he is so clunky and awkward. But they were really pushing, and I call this the failed mascot section. But I do love YNT. You're right, Glenn. YNT are fantastic. I know a lot of people shit on them, but this seems to be the one that gets the most street cred. But Mean Streak, the video, I call this hairy chested metal. It's so like, man, it's just like 70s hangover. Say on a mystery. And the set alone for Mean Street is gorgeous, man. I love it. Yep. Anyways, I've gone on. Jurgen, that's it, baby. That's all the YNT you're getting tonight.
Yeah. No, there are a lot of folks that dig it. And a lot of, I don't know their catalog well, but yeah, a lot of folks always kind of talk about them as one of those bands that were like this close to being a big thing, and then it never quite lined up right for them. They missed a turn and got stuck on the freeway for too long or something.
Apparently their fans were raging assholes.
Really?
They had like something that would be, well, I wouldn't say equal to Juggalos, but it was a very, very like hard crowd. And if you opened for YNT, you were in trouble.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, where are they from?
That was a thing back then. Yeah, certain bands. Yeah,
like Omen
really
opening up for Slayer. Yeah, like
they had the vicious loyal fan base.
When you saw Omen open up for Slayer, it was very depressing because Omen deserved like better than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Omen's not Slayer. I'm not even making that claim.
No.
But yeah, some bands just had that kind of following. It was like, we are here to see them and everybody else can die. Yep. And yeah, that's YNT apparently had that. And D. Snyder apparently had a lot of problems on that tour. So it's surprising to see him in that video.
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff's often always sung the praises of YNT.
Jeff, listen, please excuse me, Jeff. I got to get in contact with you. I was MIA, man. I was in the shit, as me and my veterans like to call it.
In the bush.
I was in the bush. Good thing Y&T was never the headliner. Why is Metal Theologian like Waldorf and Statler sometimes? He's like two of them combined.
I don't know who that is.
From the Muppet Show, those old men up in the fuck.
Oh, right. Yeah. I didn't know their names. I just knew the old heckler guys. Yeah.
We're gonna work on this. We got to cram for the finals, baby.
Hey, so I don't forget, and I should have mentioned it earlier to folks watching. Aaron is having a record sale tomorrow night.
Oh
on
shit! Yeah.
His channel for Metal Theologian. I think he's got a lot of like 70s stuff. It sounded like some proggy type stuff. So he had
I'm
a lot
safe.
of success.
Woo!
With his last well, there'll be some metal stuff too. It's not all 70s stuff.
If I can I be so rude to interrupt here for a second? I don't want anyone tuning into it. No one watch it and no one buy anything. And here's why. I know what he's up to. You know what he's doing, right? Because of my Iron Maiden purchase, and I've flexed. Well, that mother father is going to sell some of his funky jazz or whatever the hell it is, and he's going to take that money and he's going to try to steal my thunder. People, listen to me. That's what he's up to. Don't.
Now, is he trying to get his own? Now, in this hypothesis, Phillip, is Aaron trying to get like his own copy of Soundhouse that's in better condition or something?
He probably has it.
Or is he trying to get?
He's trying to get Mark Lowry. He's trying to spite me. Mark Lowry is. I love the. Do you know what Mark Lowry? Alan, you know what Mark Lowry is.
Yes.
Jesus.
And you're the only.
Isn't that a seasoning salt?
Yes, I do. And Phillip, you're the only person to possibly be worried that Mark Lowry is going to upstage Iron Maiden.
I will not tolerate being upstaged, and I got such my spider sense going off right now. In fact, I might go like sell one of my children so this doesn't happen.
Well, the last time I got
how
home,
are you going to retaliate and upstage the Mark Lowry? That's if we're developing an arms race, we got to know where this goes.
Man, it's definitely going to be. What's he saying? What's this asshole say? I think I'm probably going to have to like find some very obscure 45, like not obscure like the professor shows. Jesus Christ!
I got an extra copy of that Throbbing Wolfpack over here.
Wow, so good you had to buy it twice.
Yeah.
$8. Who cares? $8.
No, Metal T is way too cynical to buy an Iron Maiden. There's no way. He knows he'll be like, oh, they're just ripping me out. He doesn't even believe that mine is real, but it is. But I'll tell you, yeah, if he gets that Mark Lowry before me, I'm going to be very upset. Or he's going to buy something else because he holds Wizard over me. That is like one album I really want, and he flaunts it.
Do you have that one too, Alan? The Wizard?
I do. No, I do not have the Wizard. It's a really good one, hard to get. But now, Phillip, it's not all one-sided. You've got is it Unicorn, the German one?
Yes.
Pegasus. Yes, you've got that one.
He's got a handy. He's got a handy just to flex his little penis.
Yeah.
See, I'm heading out to a record show this weekend, so I'll be keeping an eye out for things. There it is.
Look at that cover.
That's
what the hell is happening?
What's happening right now is the vein on the side of Aaron's head is starting to throb a little bit.
And it's what I don't like a gimmick album cover. All right, I can't. Hold on, I'm going to try to take it out like Aaron does. But it's one of the clear. Oh shit! I can't do this. I'm losing confidence. It's clear.
You never handled records when you're drunk. I've dropped records drunk before. It's so stupid.
Yeah, so have I. But this is clear, just like the Unicorn Force that it is.
It actually landed right on the side, on its spine, on the edge of the record, and it bounced up enough for me to grab it in a bounce. It was amazing. Didn't hurt it, surprisingly.
So tomorrow night I'm going to go. That's a horrific story.
It is a horrific story.
Tomorrow night I'm going to create a new name and join and buy everything that Aaron has, and then I'm going to be like a deadbeat bidder.
Well, the last time I was out somewhere and I got home, I turned on the YouTubes and Aaron had his little record sale, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. I started watching it, and before the end of the night, I had 4 records I bought. It's like his prices are good, and the records, I knew that the records coming were good. So,
Yeah, I'm sure you bought all these Sun Ra.
yeah, no, I had a Dismember record, a Dokken record.
Dokken.
Yeah,
Dismember,
and
Sun Ra,
just-
tomato.
Back for the Attack. I got Back for the Attack. A couple other records, I don't remember.
But yes, 9:00 tomorrow night on Aaron's channel, Metal Theologian. If you've got some money burning a hole in your pocket, and go check it out.
You like
It'll
crappy
be-
prog music? Head on over and get some crappy prog.
Oh, you're getting surly now, Marty. Now you're shitting on prog.
I'm not
we're
a
in
prog
trouble.
fan. I am not a prog fan. But yes, good call, Alan. I totally forgot about that. I will be watching for sure. And Philip just went. Alan's turn to go, I believe, right?
I think so. All right. Andre mentioned this one in the chat earlier, and I was just like, oh yeah, I thought about it, and I don't own a copy, so I didn't think about it when I was pulling it, but it's worth showing, even though I got to dial it up on the phone here. Back to the new wave of British heavy metal, and that fun sense of British humor sometimes gives you things like the cover art for the Handsome Beasts' first album called Bestiality.
Oh,
That's the lead singer.
I can smell that cover.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, you can. That is the lead singer, and the sign wasn't quite placed right. Let's just leave it at that and keep the picture down here a little bit. This band was had I think single #1 on the heavy metal records label was Handsome Beasts. They made some recordings. They're not bad. They were relative blues for that era, but they did it. Their cover art choices did cause problems at times. I mean, when you're doing this and your lead singer literally is giving that giant pig a run for its money on the scale, that's making
He's
a
got
statement.
that look in his eyes too. That's creepy.
Yeah, you don't want to see what's on the back cover. We're not going there. But one of their they caught a lot of crap for one of their 7-inch singles. Shows a picture of someone dressed like a schoolgirl leaning into a car with the impression that someone's like baiting her into the car, and they got a lot of flack for that. Even back then, sometimes we think all this stuff is like, oh, it was all good fun back then, and people only got uptight about it, during the Obama administration. No. That band had a lot of issues because of cover art image choices, even in the early '80s. With even the Thatcher and Reagan years, they were kind of uptight about some things.
I can't imagine Reagan and Thatcher being uptight.
Imagine the tuts. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
It not a bad band. I mean, the cover of this would make you laugh and run the other direction. But Handsome Beasts aren't bad. They're not they're not going to make my top 10 new wave of British heavy metal bands list. But you can do a lot worse than hearing those.
I feel Tom will know this. You just reminded me of the positioning of it. Remember that time when Jack Tripper on Three's Company, you could see his balls? There's an episode. You guys weren't that kid that used to pause to see John Ritter's balls.
No, not. There's still time.
No.
There's still time, Philip.
Actually, I think that time may have come when you were, going frame by frame through Three's Company, looking at John.
Must
Ritter.
see the balls.
I do. Yeah, there was that time. No, listen, man, dude, I'm a Janet man to death. All right,
I was a Chrissy fan, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Janet was, especially when she had the Joan Jett here. But I will say that, there is an episode where everyone talked about it. It was rumored. It was like, did everyone see John Ritter's balls last night? It's like,
So shorty short, was he wearing shorty shorts?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, Tom, you missed it. Oh, dude, you can go on now and just watch it online. But you see his balls; they plop right out.
Right on.
There's way too much quiet.
Not a whole lot we can say about that.
I didn't solve the Russell paradox here. It's John Ritter's balls.
Right. All right. Well, I'm going to show the first. Well, maybe not the first. There's some other band photos here as well. But this is a situation where, that old saying, if you stare into the abyss stares back at you.
Daily that happens to me.
Yeah. Well, here
Are you
we've
about
got.
to show us the John Ritter still frame or something.
No.
Tom,
This
get
is
on that.
This is the Sorrow Forgotten Sunrise album. You know, fair enough. A little Deathly Doom type stuff. And you go and look at the album cover or the band photo. Does anybody see anything there that might be a little... Why isn't it focusing, you bastard?
Is this, speaking of ball, is this balls?
Yeah, this isn't John Ritter's balls. This is the dude from Sorrow's balls.
I see a little bit of pubic mane there. Is that what I'm seeing there?
Let me ask you this question. If you had this band photo just snapped and like, you know, you get the developed photos back, you look at them, you're like, yeah, the band all agrees. All three of them have to vote. Is this band photo good? Yeah, nothing wrong with this band photo. This is a great band photo. Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, wow, sweet band photo. Man, I'm distracted. I'm distracted by the pubic void. I'm staring into this abyss. I'm sure there's something there, but it's thinly veiled by some very burdened denim. I don't know, man. This is, and again, I'm questioning the stash choices on this guy as well. It's not even a complete. It's like just the wings. The wings.
He
of
knew
the
what
stash.
he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
But yeah, man, I don't know.
Elementary school across the street. That's the sad part.
None of the guys in this band said, "Yo, bro, I mean, what's up with your nuts?" Does this have to be the band photo? But anyway,
the only photo they had.
Yeah, it must have been the only photo they
It was
had.
the only time the three of them were together for a picture.
I like this one because my stash looks good in it.
It reminds me of when my grandmother ruined Christmas of '86. There's no photos left because we got her up. We got her up, and she's there watching us open up presents and shit. All these Polaroid shots, and she's just there in a nightgown, and she didn't have underwear on. And my Aunt Marilyn, she all the photos when they were passing them out, she had like black scribbles on it. But me and my grandmother looked like she had a giant blue pubic mane.
Wow. Sounds like Grandma got charoned by a reindeer.
Yeah, Christmas '86. My grandmother blew it, man.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a. No one saw in the Polaroids that she didn't make a change.
Some families have a Christmas tree. Philip's family had a Hanukkah bush.
The burning bush.
Oh my god! And it was a flame. She was a redhead.
Yeah, there you go. How did I know? Why
did this happen?
How do we get on this topic?
You and your sorrow cassette that won't focus.
Stare into the abyss, it stares back at you.
And
I'm pretty sure StreamYard's making sure that can never come into focus, Mark.
Right. It finally did, yeah.
That was definitely the abyss stared right back at me.
Here we go. If John Ritter's balls fell out of his shorts, then they didn't. But if they didn't fall out of his shorts, then they did. The famous John Ritter's balls paradox.
I'm trying to find a record here right now. Whatever, I'll find one of them. But one of the funniest things in the world to me is as an album label that really never failed to not disappoint, which was Mausoleum. And I could take out 100 albums right now. But Mausoleum had that kind of sound. Has anyone ever listened to Cave?
That's the same hair of the chick on that silent the cave bear lady with the machine gun. Same Farrah Fawcett hair. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, First Invasion. This is the album. Was it the ex-drummer from Scorpions after he came back?
Herman the German.
Yeah, Herman's a German. Have you heard this album?
No.
Oh, this is yacht rock. But I love the buns. I'm a big fan of the buns and the
side boob.
Yeah, and this guy just came ashore while all the action's going down. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Mausoleum covers, and I do have more here. I don't know where
is the name of the band Quest spelled Kwest? That's impressive.
Yeah, I wish it was, but no, they weren't that hip, man. But if you have any Mausoleum records, because I hauled out some perfect ones here.
Aaron says that's the one on Mausoleum that no one wants.
Oh, well, Aaron's wrong because I love it. I love K-West, man. Quest. I think that's perfect. But I tell you, I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to do 2 can dine for $4.99 because the the U.S. Metal, any of these series, the art right here looks like something that would be like painted by kids on the side of a YMCA. Every photo, every painting is offensive.
I like the guy pointing. That's awesome.
Yeah, it also looks like, if you're a Canadian, like if you were in school, it looks like the cover of every French textbook that we ever had. It's just so bad. But yeah, K West. Oh yeah, this happens. Oh God. Anyways, again, to everybody, this episode is brought to you by Hermit Wine.
Right on.
All right, so that's my picks for shitty art.
Okay, Alan.
All right, I'm gonna do one that's not quite metal, sort of maybe metal adjacent, more like a gothic punk death rock thing, but definitely, they had their humor there too. Phil made a good point earlier about hardcore bands and punk bands got away with a lot of that, and it spilled over into their kind of adjacent subgenres. One I pulled was 45 Grave. So the thing that's really fun here is, first they had some they're kind of obvious but still very great pseudonyms for band members, like Robbing Graves and Dinah Cancer, which was always a personal favorite. Just like that's funny and clever. Not just any female lead vocalist would go with Dinah as the name she was going to use.
That's the comedy part. Dinah.
Yeah, but they also, like, for some of their press release promo material, they had fake obituaries written up for themselves, which are included with the liner notes for the reissue here. So I'll just read one of them. The one for Dinah Cancer. It says, singer/temptress dies. Dinah Cancer, sultry nightclub singer and succubus, succumbs to the new fall programming schedule. Miss Cancer, known throughout the country as One Scary Woman, will be interred at the Hollywood Broadway store in the Young Women's Department. The family wishes that instead of flowers, friends and fans alike should shop for useless household appliances, spending money they will never have. Her epitaph will be, "Bye, bye, bye, B-U-I, 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 America." Just, okay. How can you not like that as a way to try to advertise your band?
They offended me. How so? Jesus Christ, man.
And the album title, Sleep in Safety. Just like, okay. Again, just very off the wall.
I remember being a kid in '85 when Return of the Living Dead came out, and that song "Do You Want a Party" came out. Party time. And I loved that song so much. And the lyrics were completely different. Later on in life, I got a copy of the 45 Grave version, and if you read,
hot,
but have you ever read the lyrics of the original version of Party Time?
No.
Oh man, like people out there, those in the know. No, it's like a song about a little girl being abused by her family, and it's like they're talking about like abusing her, and it's party time. It's just like, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, and it's really dark, very dark. I see no humor there.
No.
But yeah, I would recommend that. That's kids, write that down. Check it out. I want you to be really depressed.
All right. I guess I'm up. We're going to talk about another band photo. Staring into the abyss. This band has got a lot of things that bug me over the years. They're still one of my favorite bands of all time because it was my childhood. We're talking about Kiss, Crazy Nights, whatever. This is a pretty crappy Kiss record, in my opinion. What really bothers me about this is Paul's band photo.
You got to do that with your back hair.
I was going to say his chest hair game is looking like a recreation of my back, but it's cool. But you know what? The blue thong on a dude, I just don't get I don't understand. I mean, are thongs a thing for dudes? I mean, I don't know.
If he's a swimmer, that hair, that chest mane is going to slow him down.
Yeah, he's losing at least 0.6 of a second off the drag created by the chest alone.
again, you got all these guys. They're like all fully clothed. They're holding their instruments, whatever. Everybody's looking pretty cool, making the pose. And then here comes Paul. I'm just gonna take off my shirt and show my sweet baby blue thong. Look at my perfectly groomed chest hair. Like, he's proud of that chest hair. He just is. He's shown it for many years.
But it's extraordinarily like hairy there. Like
it's right. It is. I mean, it's a game. He's got game on the chest hair game.
His nipples look like a thimble wearing a clown wig.
The only chance that he has of winning the swimming competition is if Kulik's dick chin absorbs the water.
The only way he's got a winning the swim competition is if he's swimming against Rick Allen from Def Leppard.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I find very depressing and humorous at the same time is when Gene Simmons lost the makeup. If you watch the videos, he looks lost. He doesn't know what to do. Lick It Up video.
Yeah.
He is wandering the streets looking for something to grab on.
Looking for an identity that he lost.
He doesn't know what to do, and my heart goes out to him.
Yeah.
I think I figured it out. But see, Paul wasn't on the swim team. He was on the diving team. And with that much extra hair, it created enough drag after he left the board that he could complete the triple Lindy before he hit the surface of the water.
This is probably true, Scott, 100%. And I still love Kiss, but yeah. I mean, just like the Sorrow band photo and this, I'd be like, is anybody else noticing the fact that you're wearing a thong and it looks really weird? You showing it like that? And
exactly. Southport said, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have had to say something.
Wow, I would have said a lot more than that.
Yep. All right, Phillip, you're back.
Music videos, it's unfortunate because we can't show a lot of videos here right now. But one of my favorite music videos of all time is Armored Saints' Can You Deliver? I have never laughed so hard than the first time I saw that video, and Gonzo stole the show. The animated sword in the stone that comes down and the giant knight, I mean, that's cool. I'm not above it at all, right? But when everyone is looking like Phil and everyone's looking at one another, how they're supposed to respond to the sword in the stone, if you watch Gonzo, and please watch this after this, he has the stupidest look on his face. He's like, it's the best. And there's a 7-year-old in the audience of this Egyptian themed theater. I don't know where they're playing this, but he looks 7 years old and he's in the front. So the whole video is just absolutely fantastic. Hey, it's a great album and a great song. He's watching. Thank you, man. Have you ever seen Can You Deliver?
I think so.
I don't think I have. It doesn't ring a bell.
What am I missing with Armored Saint? What am I missing? I've got the first 3 or 4 albums on tape, up through Delirious Nomad or Rising.
If you don't get Delirious Nomad or the batshit crazy solos that are on like Madhouse, or maybe it's just not the band for you. Don't be so hard on yourself.
I mean, I don't think they suck. I just, all these like bands hold them in such high regard. Like they were something really super special. I listened to that. First of all, they were on Chrysalis. Like the only person that belonged on Chrysalis was Pat Benatar. That's it.
And
that
Billy
was the
Idol.
Pat
and
that
Billy
was,
Idol.
And Billy Idol. That was the Billy Idol Pat Benatar label. And here comes a metal band. I guess MSG UFO was on Chrysalis as well. Anyway, but it's just, they're like metal, but it's so vanilla. It sounds very, again, a masterpiece. People say masterpiece. I listen to this shit. I'm like, it's kind of like, I like it, but I don't know why people are so crazy in love with it. I don't know. It's just me. It is just me.
I think it's fantastic, and I love his voice. I love the whole band, everything about them. just the whole story behind them, how they were all like in high school and just together. It was, Dave Mustaine breaking his leg and then buying him a guitar later on. Everything about that band I just thought was cool. Symbol of Salvation is fantastic. And I remember reading a Martin Popoff review, I do believe, and they said it's just one of those bands that was never captured on record the same way they were live. And there's a lot of bands like that. And I think
it's really clean. They're very clean sounding albums. There's not a lot of edge or bite to them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A lot of good. All the stars seem to be good. Great singer, great guitar or soloists, and all this shit. But I need to revisit. I don't know. Yeah. I just need to revisit.
The live thing is what always. Yeah, I've heard that too. Because one of the first Armored Saint songs I heard was a live version of Madhouse. And it rips. They kill it on there. But yeah, when I listen to it like on studio recordings, it's like, where are the balls?
It's like it's
they're over on the Sorrow band photo cover.
Yeah, they're hidden behind door number 2 on Sorrow's band photo. Yeah.
So yeah, I think they probably had a fantastic live reputation, but being on Chrysalis, maybe they just never got the right producer in the studio with them to capture that.
I mean, Joey Vera. I will say that when he went to Anthrax, I shit you not, I give you my word that my mother let me stay home from school because I cried so hard because I was losing Armored Saint. You might think that's embarrassing, but I stand to it. When they got rid of Joey, I was on top. I was so young. I was on top of a snowbank sliding, and my friend came and he's like, "Anthrax just fired Joey. They got Armored Saint." And I'm like, "You're killing Armored Saint and Anthrax for me right now." You can't.
And the union they made, I just watched a Drumeo video with Charlie Benatti that would just aired today, and he played a couple songs off of the Joey or off the oh my god, the singer
Sound of White Noise.
Yeah, they love John Bush. Anthrax loves that era, the John Bush era, because it's John Bush, and he's a great singer. But man, in Anthrax, it didn't work. Man, didn't work.
Yes and no. I think on Sound of White Noise, I came to the conclusion that I did kind of like some of the songs on there. And we all know the history that he was supposed to be, the singer for Metallica, which I think would have sucked. I agree. But yeah, no, I always have a soft spot in my heart for Armored Saint. I really, really do. And if you don't get them, that's fine. I totally understand.
I think I get them. Maybe the albums are too clean. I don't know. I need to revisit. I want to come to a moment, the come to Jesus moment with this band, because I want to get it. I think it's solid metal. I think it's a great singer. It's a great band. It's just very vanilla. I'm
going to make you a grade 7 love tape where it's just like the first side is Sheriff and that's all you're going to listen to. And then when Armored Saint comes on side B, you're going to be like, oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Now I get it.
All right.
Delirious Nomad can be your personal symbol of salvation, Marty.
Yeah.
But I mean, Delirious Nomad is a fantastic album.
I'll give it another shot. I kept them all. I don't think they suck. I don't get it. I just don't get the love.
But check out the video for Can You Deliver, because it is the funniest intro. And they're futuristic or Mad Max in tanks. Fantastic.
All right, Alan.
All right. Let's go with band photo, an old favorite.
That only song is good. Sorry, Alan.
No, that's okay. Yeah, Sound of White Noise has some good stuff on it. Someone said that, yeah, I mean, it's very different from what they've done before. But so it goes. But yeah, I've shown this picture before, but it's perfect. And it kind of ties in with what Phil was saying earlier, that, hardcore and punk bands could get away with a bit more. Maybe that will explain this one. This is the old Manimals mini album. I guess it counts as a mini album.
You've gotten some love. You love that record. Love.
I do. I think this is this has some killer songs on it. It's basically a more metallic version of the Misfits if all the songs were like 5 to 6 minutes long, which is probably a little too long. Again, I'll admit when it's got its flaws, but no, this has some great ones. Blood is the Harvest, White Zombie. Yeah, those are killer things that can stay on my playlist anytime. But the band, kind of, very Misfits influenced. No apologies about it, but yeah, they all kind of went with their horror, kind of themed characters. including the werewolf boy who decided to, these boots. We've talked about fuzzy boots a couple of times.
Canadian
tonight.
issued, yes.
Yeah.
These are not, those were not fuzzy boots. These are fuzzy boots.
Yeah.
And so once again, it's this weird 80s take that we had these this is how we thought to portray werewolves in the 80s. That, it would be poofed up hair and, dabs of makeup and giant fuzzy boots. And that's your take on a werewolf. And it's just hilarious compared to now that would never fly. Now it's got to be all, grim, dark, realistic, CGI'd and anthropomorphically, correct. Back then it's just like, hey, I want to look like a werewolf. What do I do? Get some boots.
Yeah.
Hilarious picture. All the more so because, again, this was a band operating in the Midwest in the 80s. Midwestern crowds were kind of famous for not having a high tolerance for bullshit. A lot of those crowds would, they could be hard on bands. And so the fact that this guy had the balls to wear those boots, he not only had his balls, he had John Ritter's balls and the guy from Sorrow's balls all combined, just saying, come on, start some crap about my boots. I double dog dare you.
Well, he backs it up. You were talking about converting metal tea to some albums. 4:30 in the morning last week, and I shit you not, I was getting ready for work, and I came downstairs, and my wife was on the treadmill at that hour, working on her fitness and shit, and I could hear her iPod. It was like really loud, and she was listening to Blood Is the Harvest, and I was so proud. I was
Perfect.
So proud.
Yeah,
Although she loves Fistful of Metal as well. That's her other favorite album.
That's her workout jams. Fistful of Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn gets it. Yep, Glenn cheers. Aaron does not quite get it, but that's okay. We can't agree on everything.
I think he gets it more than what he's letting on. It's actually fantastic.
Van Canto's got more plays on Spotify than most bands put together. It's so stupid. Everybody check out how stupid that is. It's good for a laugh. The battery cover, the metal.
I think that's the one I was subjected to. With the battery cover and just like, dear Lord.
Battery. Yeah. Battery.
Let me help us. No.
All right, I'm coming in hot with some more band photos. Obviously, this is a great record. But you got to really look at Jeff Tate here and think, what the hell is going? And not just Jeff Tate. What's up with that dude's hair?
Let me tell you something.
The streaks.
Now, Marty, this one's just culturally insensitive of you.
They're from Seattle. There's no cultural insensitivity going on here. Look at this.
Considering what Seattle is now,
that dude's hot.
Be careful.
That dude is hot. I'm just gonna put it out there. Hot.
It's not too late, Marty.
It's not too late. I mean, what is going on?
Marty, Rage for Order can be your come to gay Jesus moment.
Yeah, I mean, I already signed my fate with the Angus McSix album, but
that guy's hair though is like prom night in '89. Every girl in '89.
He looks like he's in like an '80s vampire movie.
Yeah,
right there. Maybe that's the whole shtick for this whole thing. What year did this come out? This came out.
The Werewolf Boy from Spookies.
86. 86. And you got the shoulder tassels.
I have no problem with the tassels.
You got the Bon Jovi shoulder tassels. That is important in these types of photo shoots. Did they wear this shit live on stage too?
Can we not talk about their video for Queen of the Reich with the Star Wars title crawl and the freezing and it's so good. It looks like a video that I could only dream of directing.
I saw it one time and immediately went searching for the EP. It's all it took.
That's all it took. And, it always made me very sad when they started getting very serious.
Rogue Male, Crazy Motorcycle. I remember my buddy bought the Rogue Male tape and we were jamming on the Crazy Motorcycle song.
I remember when Rogue Male was like touted in the, it was funny because my friend, he had an older brother and he had back issues of, not Metal Edge, but it was one of those Kerrang. And they were talking about Rogue Male and how the band Sinful, was going to be touted as the next Metallica. And if you see these guys,
oops,
Wrong again. I do love a band that sticks to their guns and likes to work as a unit.
Yep.
You know, kind of like the Temptations and shit. Is like, we all got an outfit. You know, I mean, let's all work on it. remember in Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke? It's like, hey, Curtis. He's got these outfits that they all wear. He's, yeah, I know Curtis. they all have these outfits. But Mania, this cover is hilarious. It was actually passable. It was passable until they did Popeye's face on the front. But I mean, can you imagine if you took his face? Hold on, now I'm in Top Gun mode. Yeah, you cut out his face. That's a pretty heavy duty cover. But then you got Top Gun.
Olive. Yeah,
Looks like he's checking out Manowar. It's like, oi, Eric Adams sure is Olive.
But speaking of the Temptations and the Commodores, look at this. Everyone's on.
I love the black and blue. It's like the black and blue striper.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, the dude on the far right with the headband. Oh my God, trying to de-emphasize the full retreat hairline. Doesn't work, bro.
Move it up higher. He could have moved it up higher and then fooled us all for another 2 years.
He could have went for the do-rag. He should have went with the do-rag on this one.
Right, but anyways,
God,
this album is so heavy I can barely lift it. Speaking of Popeye, and I don't have this record, there is a band. Is it Titan Popeye La Road? Have you guys heard of this album? Please. Popeye La Road is a giant dick surfing the cosmos. Can someone? You guys got the technology. Please look up Popeye La Road. Titan,
Popeye
I do
La
believe it
Road.
is. I feel that Jurgen's gonna know Popeye La Road.
La Road.
Yeah. It's a penis, and if someone says it's not a penis and I have a dirty mind, then there's something wrong.
Is it one word?
No, it's not Popeye La Road. It's Popeye La Road. You idiot.
Metal
I think it's Titan. Can someone back me up here, please?
Popeye.
So far, I'm getting
Encyclopedia.
pictures of Popeye's chicken.
Here we go. Bandcamp. They're on Bandcamp. Titan. Here it is. Let me pull it up.
Okay, Marty's got it covered.
Please, I want to own this record so bad.
What?
No, turn it around. There's got to be another side. Please expand.
There, is that better?
What's going on? It's not even the dick that makes me laugh. Popeye La Road is the funniest part. Also, I've never seen a red road case. They're blue or black. But
Why does the penis guy have arms? Is the next question. And teeth.
Why is he wearing his hat sideways?
Why does he have two eyes? He should only have one eye.
He doesn't need to have attitude. Just being a dick and balls soaring through the cosmos is enough. But look at the size of those gonads, like inside the actual scrotum sac. It's just like bursting. You can get pregnant looking at it.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Popeye La Road?
No.
Nope, this is new.
Is this a new band?
No, man. No, dude.
Why is it on Bandcamp? Is the next question.
Well, probably because they've been on Bandcamp since it started. They probably started it.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
Space cock. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. All right, Ellen, you're up. Beat Popeye La Road there.
Well, okay, that's a thing.
Let's
do.
If you bring up Vice again, then you'll win again. I promise.
True. We'll go to a couple of singles. One of these is quick, and one of these requires more inspection. This one, some folks will immediately get it, and some won't. Band from Ohio decided they would name themselves this.
I love this band when you played it on your show.
They were really good.
Yeah,
But a lot of people would look at this and just think it must be named after one of the band members, and that's just a weird name for a band member. But it's not one of the band members. It is actually named the name of the skipper from Gilligan's Island.
Are you serious? That's his
I
name?
am serious. The character's name is Jonas Grumby. But of course, nobody knows this because they just call him Skipper in all the Gilligan's Island shows.
Dude, I was raised by a TV and I didn't know that.
I'm amazed you didn't know this. I
Yeah.
thought, okay, Marty, I'm retiring. I've given Philip a pop culture reference that he needed and didn't know he needed.
And I am blown away that was his name, the Skipper.
Jonas Grumby is the name of the Skipper. I don't know.
See, I didn't know that either. How did you know? How do you know this?
Because I'm a sick little monkey.
Because you're a vat of useless knowledge.
I like to think
Because
some of my knowledge is useful.
It's 109, and we're talking about Popeye Road and Jonas Grumby. That's why we know.
Yeah. So, I mean, kudos to them for, again, this wasn't like internet days where they could go and, sort of, Google to figure out, what the name of the Skipper character was. Because I don't ever remember them using it on an episode of Gilligan's Island, but somewhere, somehow, it was documented that the character did have a real name. These guys found out about it and made it the name of their band. And for that, they get a big old thumbs up. It is a good little single, too.
Yeah, when you played it, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was the first Private Press U.S. heavy metal single I ever got. I traded a Death CD for it. It was a weird trade.
You won.
But I'm fine with it. And the guy knew what he was doing. He's like, I'd rather have the Death CD. I'm like, that's okay. I want that. But, it's a pretty respectable band photo. There's
The dudes with the headbands. What's up with that? There's
was
got to
the
be
80s.
one dude in a headband in every band photo tonight.
It was the 80s, Marty. You know what it was. But
I love the tall guy. His hair is cascading down. It's beautiful.
It was the 80s.
Hair envy.
I love how
have the hair.
I love
You
how
said-
every 80s band now the members all look like bingo moms now. you look like at all those guys like Def Leppard looks like a Tupperware party.
Right. Yeah. Funny.
I'll give you one bonus single since we're getting a little late here. And this one, multiple things about this make this funny. You've got the band called Satin Steel.
I saw this. I talked to Metal Theologian about this one time. I saw it on there. And I was like, I don't know it. And I was like, you need to own this because I can't afford it right now.
It's pretty solid. There's all kinds of things we can have fun with in this band photograph. Absolutely. This making sure with the arm up, that he is seen there, crouched down low. It gets better though, because yes, on one side it is, the song is, let's see, kick me where it hurts. And he says it like over and over and over again in the song. Like he's just like, really, really wants you to. It's not like, they played dirty and kick me where it hurts. It's more like, kick me where it hurts. And it's like over and over. It's like, well, okay. Are you sure? But it also came with this weird little strip. Now, this makes no sense because it's too small to be an insert. It's not an OBI or anything, but and it looks like gobbledygook at first, but it literally it's typed backwards. And it says, let's see if I can get this right, because I got to read it like in a mirror or some crap. Notice this recording contains no backwards masking. All messages are intended. Then it finally closes by saying Satin Steel is rock and roll. But yes, they were like, well, no backwards messages except on this little like 1 inch by 8 inch strip of paper that we're randomly putting into this, package to sell.
Check the Dewey Decimal System.
But we get another fun take. Always hamming it up with using the instrument. To look both fun and menacing at the same time. Another popular '80s trope for band photographs.
And they are having a good time. You can tell.
They're having a good time because nobody has yet kicked them where it hurt. But yeah, so the second single, bonus single there, Satin Steel, fun little single. It rocks out pretty good. I can dig it. I paid actual dollars for it.
If anyone owned that, I knew it would be you. That's fantastic.
It is for me. That is very true.
That was interesting. Thank you for sharing that trivia about giant spider invasion. I didn't know that.
I was blessed with this information, and it is my duty to pass it on to others who need it.
I have that actually on the DVDs. It was like a monster collection, so very good.
Mhm.
So where are we now, guys? Are we at the midnight hour, or because I got to get up for the Easter Bunny photos tomorrow. But I'm still I got
When is
3 more beer
Easter?
left.
Is it Sunday?
It's next weekend, not this weekend.
Yeah, but I'm still in. I just don't want to exhaust your friends and your audience, right?
Well, we got 82 still watching, so we're good to go.
82?
Yeah, we went over 100 earlier. Yeah.
Holy God!
I've got two or three. I've got 2 or 3 more, but yeah, it probably is time to start getting to the bottom of the stack. I can do 2, maybe 3 more rounds.
I've got about 5 wizards left, so I can drink up. I don't care.
Well, let's do a little foreshadowing here.
Now don't go ruining it.
I'm not gonna. Is this?
Why don't you just announce it? Just announce what we have planned.
I'm not gonna announce it. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
It's going to happen not this week.
No,
not,
we're not gonna,
after this, but the week after.
We're not going to announce it. Well, let's just wait and make it happen. It'll be special.
It'll be more fun if it's a surprise.
It'll be more fun.
So I think we should just stop there. I think you just threw away your pick right now.
No, I'm just saying. Is this the worst band ever?
No, definitely not the worst band ever.
Dude.
No, it's not.
Dude.
No, you can dude me till the cows come home.
Dude.
I'd
rather listen to the Dick on a Road case than.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I could only dream of being part of that. If I could be the 5th guy in that lineup, the bald guy, like I would kill to be a part of that majesty.
Well, let's just say that
Mountain
their talent did not hold up over the years. Old Vince, I think everybody's shocked that, old Vince is getting a lot of memes about him not, enunciating well. But he doesn't enunciate well on this album either. There's maybe 14 words I can recognize on this record. 14 to 24 words, maybe. But, you got to laugh at the fashion sense. And this whole era, this whole tour,
I don't laugh at all.
The dresses, the dress up time that they were wearing on here. Oh my God. I mean, the polka dots.
Yeah, so Dusty Rhodes wore polka dots. Are you going to say Dusty Rhodes, is an idiot?
No.
Let me tell you something right now. This is a band. This is a band at its peak, and also it's
save it, savor it.
All I'm going to say is
you will have your
if you've
chance.
ever been in grade 3, then you'll understand how majestic this album is.
But well, I just thought I'd throw that up there just to.
It's a fantastic album. Fat kids are fat. That's what I love about Vince, man. He's having a good time.
Yeah, he can't say no to the Golden Corral, and who can't, Golden Corral is a seductive mistress. They have everything.
Listen to me. If you were in Motley Crue and you have Motley Crue money, do you think you would care right now? Or would your fat ass, be at the Golden Corral right now? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'd be right with him, man.
Me too.
I'm just drinking booze in the booth.
I'd be drinking the gravy right out of the ladle.
Gravy shot.
Out of the gravy station.
Yeah, Nikki, do we have any opioids right now? Because I'm ready to party right now. You've already made your name. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. And if you're stupid enough to buy those tickets, fuck you.
They're coming to Soaring Eagle? Holy shit, I could go to Soaring Eagle and see the remnants of Motley Crue. I saw a thing that they're going to be replacing Vince Neil on this tour. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's pretty fucking funny.
Is it Karabi or whatever?
Who knows? I doubt it. Karabi's got nothing good to say. Nothing good to say about Motley Crue right now. So.
You can go check them out and shout at the food bar.
Right.
shout out to Ponderosa. I feel that might be John Bush. No! He's actually, do you know John Bush is the voice of Burger King?
You know why they're doing that, though, don't you, Phil? Because John Bush, always asks, "Can you deliver?" And Vince is more like, "Do you deliver?"
Uber Eats.
Tour sponsored by Uber Eats. Yeah.
Do you deliver?
Okay.
Oh shit!
All right, Philip. What do you got?
We're off the gravy train right now.
Gravy.
I don't even know.
I heard. Hey, I heard the dude from Handsome Beast called Vince and told him he needs to rein it in a little bit.
You guys are fat shaming, and I hate that about you. I want to show one that's a throwaway because I know we're getting to that hour, and I'm not going to get to show everything. Kronos, his album, it's just so
Dancing in the
fun.
Fire, baby. Yeah.
It's so good.
There you
Eh?
go.
It's so
His
good.
Kronos' glam album, that and Calm Before the Storm.
Is that Storm Shadow on the cover?
Exactly.
G.I. Joe reference,
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, we're getting all our toys out. But I will tell you,
the 80s.
In the history of hungover photos, Kronos could have taken a better one.
Oh my God.
So hungover. He was so sick.
Wow,
that
that is like so not. Oh my God, really?
That photo really does say, "I know this project is not going to work out."
Yeah.
well, and Kronos, funny enough, was the first band that Chromium Dioxide ever had problems with, because we play a lot of their music. We're not monetized. We don't give a shit about money, right?
Mhm.
But we took a hit, and we took a warning. It's like no more. It's
Oh,
like,
you actually got the copyright strike, huh?
oh yeah, like a real serious one. I'm like,
Really?
is this Kronos? Like, this can't be Kronos. All right, so
You'd think he'd be freaking happy that anybody's even listening to that record, you know?
I don't know. I think Kronos has lost his ways. Just get your shit together, guys. But I love this photo too, because he's continuing I'm in Top Gun mode again. The hangover, right? Like, this is the Kronos we love.
Yeah.
This guy.
I don't even know that guy. Who
Yeah, I
is that guy?
I think I kind of want to know him though. Uber.
I think I have stage holding a mic.
Remember that? Remember that video of the Smashing Pumpkins? You're on stage and he's offside. What's his name again? What's that? Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan.
He's off stage eating chips. That's where I permanently am in life. Right? It's just I just want to eat some chips, man. I don't want to deal with this bullshit. Alan, I picked this out specifically for you. I'm cheating here right now. When you don't read the font properly, I always used to call this band Psychic Professor. I didn't know it was Possessor. Honest to God, I'm not even trying.
I thought it was Psychic Professor too until yeah.
Which is hilarious. Psychic, because it made me think of you, Alan. It's like, everybody, don't bother to pass in the papers because I know what you have already. Diane,
Emily, I'm very disappointed. See me after class.
F plus.
The 59 out of 100. The F plus.
Psychic Professor.
The worst grade imaginable. It's like you tried so hard and you still failed.
I'd rather get an F minus than an F plus.
Isn't F and F, and no matter how you slice it, there's no plus.
Not in the
mine.
school I teach. When I teach first aid, you can get an F minus.
Really?
Oh yeah. If someone actually chokes in class and you fail to do anything, I will fail your ass.
So your class, you have to wait for someone to choke, and then you have to try to spring to save them. Is that the?
We have people planted in the back of the room, Marty. So
Oh, okay.
It's
I don't want to talk out of school, but sometimes I do try to make people choke.
Yeah, he actually, he in the first couple of lessons, he had Billy Corgan kind of hang out there in the back, and he just had him do like some really spicy chips to make sure he would choke.
You ever swallow a chip sideways? Yeah, you won't laugh so hard then. Let me
Or he
tell you.
shows them that one record he showed earlier with the giant penis. Anyway,
Which one? The Sharon or Popeye the Road?
The Sharon, yeah.
I'm thinking Popeye the Road is much more dangerous.
All right, Alan.
Back to me. Okay, let's do another double hit of singles. That
Oh God, I love Professor Steel. God damn, dude, I love. You should have your own action figure, man. I would have you on display.
Battle
made sure-
action grip.
Yeah.
I made sure to dig out some things just for you tonight, Philip. Yes, absolutely. All right, so it's 1981. You're a young band looking to make a name for yourself, and you do this. You're trying to make the right impression, but things go a little sideways. The first problem is your band is called the Al Smith Group. ASG, because MSG was already copyrighted. But you put out a single called "Young Girls on Ice."
Yes,
And
yes, and yes again.
this, once again, there's several things wrong here. The band name is not going to work. The second problem is it's a black and white photo, and it always bugs me when bands use black and white photos for even for just a little 7-inch picture sleeve. It's like, it's the 1980s, for God's sake. Color photography has been around long enough that there's really no excuse at this point. You could have done it in color. They figure they're going to draw unsuspected buyers in by having two scantily clad beauties laying there on the cover. And once again, it plays into this 80s trope of like when a young teenage girl dies, she just kind of lays down and it looks like she's sleeping. There are no signs of violence here. There's no wounds or any. There's nothing to indicate that these two have met an untimely demise. Yet they're clearly they're on ice, and they actually did go to the trouble of putting together. They went to the 7-Eleven and bought every bag of ice in the little storage locker. They had to get the cashier to go out and take the padlock off so they could get this giant pile of ice. And tell them, like, lay down and pretend you're dead, but not real dead, just like sleeping 1980s, action movie dead.
What does it sound like, Alan? What does it sound like? I'm so excited.
I'm all about that Ibanez Destroyer in the middle there. That's pretty sweet.
Well, yes, they've got the guitar in there right in between them to make sure you've got the rock image and the phallic imagery. So, it's a mixed message, in terms of how this was put together on the front. But then, you have to flip it over to see, okay, who were these madmen, working their way up through the heavy metal ranks to, conquer the world? These three guys.
It looks like the news without Huey Lewis.
That's funnier than what I was going to say, but I'll take a stab at it anyway. I mean, yes, you've got one guy over here who wants it to be, a new wave band. You've got the guy in the center who spent all his free periods in high school hanging out in the theater room. And then you've got number 3. This is definitely the guy who would put Young Girls on Ice, because if one of these 3 guys had a shoebox full of dismembered Barbie doll parts by the time he was 7 hidden underneath his bed, it's this mofo right here.
We've all been there. Let's not judge.
So yeah, when the Young Girls were put on ice, yeah, it's contestant number 3 who's going to show up on America's Most Wanted.
If I was in charge of the art direction on Guns N' Roses Lies, that would have been the pick on the inside of the record. That right there.
But yeah, it's as far as the music here, it's somewhere between power pop and heavy metal. You get the sense that they were really into that first Aldo Nova record, maybe just a tad too much, but trying to crank it up a little bit, but not quite able to crank it up enough. So it's not terrible, but it's 1981, for God's sake. We can't hold it to this standards of Show No Mercy or anything.
Alan, can I buy this? Like, what is the price of this? Is this affordable?
It should be affordable. I don't actually know on this one. It does show up from the last copy I saw was not expensive. I want to say it was a $30 kind of thing, maybe.
I'll just get one. My dad to sell one of the horses. No problem.
But yes, so the Al Smith group, there's band photo number 1. I promised 2. So number 2. Now this is all just laid out right here on the cover. So, and once again, there are multiple things going on. The award for metal band with the shortest collective hair length, without being bald, Blue Raven. Usually there's like the one guy in the band with short hair.
What's up with the guy smiling and the other guy? Close your mouth, bro.
All 3 of these, first off, if you can get past the band photos for a second, the band logo is blue, but the raven is like backwards mirrored. But why did it need to? It didn't need to be. It's one of the most confusing band logos. It's like blue. Right? Oh wait, I gotta read it. It's going forward back into the background again somehow.
This is why you're so much better than me, man. I can't tell if you have amazing taste or worse.
Musically, this one's not bad. At
I
least
was hoping you'd say that.
Leave It All Behind Me rocks out pretty good. The flip side, I don't honestly remember a thing about. But yeah, then we do have to get back to these band photos. You know, this guy definitely wanted to be on Three's Company.
This looks like oh my God, it looks like a magician show. Like
He looks like Ross from Friends.
This guy was voted, most likely to get, in trouble, as a gym teacher for spending too much time with the 8th grade girls.
Oh,
The neckline, the neckline on that sure looks like he just got a gymnastics class on the
Exactly,
the end.
it does. But yeah, then there's this guy over here who's wearing the leotard, and he is just way too happy about how this is all coming together. I sometimes criticize heavy metal bands, like, it's okay to smile in your photo. When you smile like this, it ain't okay. People are going to talk.
Let me see.
Rumors get started.
Center this because these guys, I'm shocked that these guys play instruments because they look like a basketball team that solves mysteries on the side.
Yeah, I mean, this guy looks like, he would maybe just, kind of, hang out, at the 7-Eleven again. This guy looks like, he would be like, trying to make his, own VHS at home tapes about, how to, get in shape. And this guy looks like he hangs out with his mom's spinning class.
I can guarantee you these guys always had a pocket flask of shit mix. Jungle juice.
But once again, the A side, Leaving It All Behind, is a really tight song. It's quite good. It's like mid 80s. No, it's not thrash. It's not it's not challenging 7 Churches for title of first death metal album or anything. But it's a good kind of early basic traditional metal tune. So yeah, can't always judge a book by its cover.
Well,
that's the take-home moral of tonight's episode.
There is so many take-home morals tonight, but that I feel might be the code.
But hey, if the guy in the center offers to take you home after 7th grade girls volleyball practice, just say no.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely
like with Handsome Beasts. Do not get in the car.
Yeah.
Say $25 a cig from that guy, man. I can guarantee.
He's with Carl Logan in the free candy van.
Yeah, he was never a Scott Columbus dude. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, okay, Marty. So yes, I've got 1 or 2 left. So, but and no more singles. We're done with the 7-inch.
Oh,
Guys,
singles are
stall
great.
for a sec, because I'm gonna pee my pants. Hold on a sec. Just give me 1 sec. Alan, I cannot thank you enough how much you've enriched my life tonight. Like, honestly, like, goddamn, dude.
I made it a point to pull some things specifically that would be
Stuff
right
you've
up
never
your alley.
shown before. Absolutely.
And that, got to mix it up from time to time. But yes, the music on the Blue Raven one's not bad at all. It's just that picture sleeve's a thing. The back of the picture sleeve, by the way, is completely blank. I don't think there's a single thing.
Really? They shot their wad with all the color on the front.
Yeah, exactly. No, the back of the picture sleeve is
That is weird. Why would they do that?
Not a word. And it's not just like it's photocopied. It's like on kind of like a slightly glossy paper. So,
Okay.
Yeah, you could have. I don't know. But they really maybe that blue ink really was the end of their budget.
Or all the money they paid the artist to reverse that.
Or they had to bail Larry here out of jail. Like, dude, we told you to keep her hands off her. She's only 13. What are you doing?
Alan, after a few beers, he enriches you. Yes, he does. Every week. He enriches us every week.
All
right.
To, dig out a few things for folks that, hey, everybody's got the new Judas Priest album. You don't need me to tell you if it's good or not.
No.
But who else is going to tell you about Blue Raven?
Larry got
I
felonies.
got tape on my headphones.
Marty, I believe it's your turn. What have you got here that you want to start wrapping up with as we get to the end?
Well, following up with the Motley Crue thing, we're going to go with some black metal. You got Vondor, the Galactic Rock and Roll Empire, where they it and all from Abruptum, Ophthalmia, War, Fame. So basically, this is an EP that came out. They covered a few originals: Rock and Rolla by Judas Priest, Red Hot by Motley Crue, and it's if you never heard this band, their first album is Sing. It's got some Star Wars themes on here, obviously from the awesome cover artwork, and they're just a goofy black metal project. 2 dudes and a drum machine. It's just super simplistic, crazy stuff. Man, how do you describe this? It's just super stripped down. There's some songs on the first album in particular, just one riff or like just one chord played really fast with all, blurting crap over the top of it. I don't know. This is kind of fun. These guys weren't really super serious. And I have actually a record, a 2 LP set with all of their stuff with the demos and everything. So it's a band that I've enjoyed enough to buy on vinyl. It's something I don't listen to very often. But, yep, it's fun. The covers are fun. They do a pretty good job on these. And just the drum machine, it just adds a bit of cheese to it, to the humor. And you don't see bands like that. See, yeah, it's weird, super stripped down, not real super serious, just really bleak and grim and silly. But, yep, Vondor. I've never showed them on here before, have I? I don't think so.
Nope, I don't believe so.
Nope.
Yep, I hadn't thought of them in a long time.
Phillip. Oh, your mic isn't on, Phil. There you go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Excellent. I'm getting down to it, but I love when I love when bands name themselves after cities, and it's there's so much.
Hello, Buckley.
Yeah, I showed this on the show once, but USA, you're. Can you see this? I can't. I really should tear this off.
Oh no! What have you done? No, it's probably a good thing. That shit sticks to the ink sometimes. Get that out of here.
But USA, everyone here, I trust them. I believe everybody in this band except this guy.
There's at least 1 or 2 Camaro IROC owners in that band, I would guess.
No, everybody. Everybody has an IROC.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is an album that I like to enjoy in the privacy of myself. It's Christmas time. Yeah. Someone told me, I remember when I bought this, no, and I'm confirming it right now. The band USA is from Montreal.
they're trying to shoot for something a little different.
And where, pray tell, is this? Montreal.
I hear that Montreal is the metal capital of North America. Would you agree with that?
Oh my God, do I ever?
I've always wanted to go.
Montreal's fantastic. Quebec, the French love heavy metal. Don't go see any shows in Toronto or anything like that, because Toronto hates a drunk, for one thing. The bars close at 2 a.m. They have no time for it whatsoever. But Montreal is nothing but a giant strip club. It's so sleazy, and that's what I love about Montreal. You know what I mean? But yeah, I believe that USA is from them, from Montreal. So I'm going to finish off right now. The last thing that I have picked right now, because I'm starting to lose focus. I'm seeing 4 Martys, and that's not good.
One is plenty.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now, this made me laugh so hard.
Center, yep.
I love a good bum on a cover. And
a
sweaty ass is even hilarious because the artist was really enjoying himself. But what makes me laugh so much is the hair that's just there. And I'm like, is it the bristles? What was shaved? Right? And her ass is so freshly shaved. Is this a dude? I feel this might be a dude. Like some sort of Filipino lady boy, and I don't know what to think. I can't tell if it's hot or not, and I'm not going to say in public if I think it's hot or not, because if it turns out to be a lady boy, you'll never recover from that. But yeah, Sinner Touch of Sin, always been a bit of a sleazy band, but man, they really, really go all in, especially this guy. Yeah, he is like the guy who was behind the cot from behind.
They even have IROCs in Germany.
Well, I've sent over a few myself.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that I've owned, I've sold to private collectors in Germany. There's no more satiny than Paul Stanley.
Paul Stanley on, yeah.
Have you guys ever worn a thong?
No.
Oh my God! When I wore those Macho Man tights on that episode, on the new album episode, my God, man, that shit rode right up my ass, man. Wrestlers, you can tell wrestlers had to wear something underneath. They had to tape up their taint because it could pop out at a moment's notice. I did like 6 takes, and one I John Rittered. I literally John Rittered. Now, granted, I had like 2 socks in there. That is not my unit.
Remind me to tell you a story after we get done here. I'm not going to share it online because
well, if you don't,
I have to have some shreds of
it's got to be bad.
Yeah, well, it's not that bad, I guess, but yeah. All right, Alan.
Okay, my last 2 then, since Phillip has wrapped up. I'll wrap up here with 2 things. One more German band that never quite made it to the top and has a the band photo probably explains why this never went anywhere. The Hand of Doom.
Oh, that guy. Meatloaf in there.
You know,
there he is.
Glenn Danzig when he was 11. This was the real winner though, that he's got, looks like kind of the scarf around the neck kind of look.
Is that dude got a goiter? What's up with his chin?
He loves salt, man. He loves salt.
Yeah. This guy over here, who's like, that kid in high school, who has the leather jacket but is still on the mathletes. So, and then there's one actually kind of greasy looking dude wondering, how the hell he got stuck with these 3 in the band.
The first guy looks like he's got something to say about the local parish priest. He's like, no, the other way. The other way. He's like, what would grandmother think if I said that about the father's stamp?
It's like he's trying to reenact the David Bowie album cover with the hands. I don't know.
The other thing that's hilarious, and I love this album, the thing that they're very over the top on this album. The vocalist has this super gravelly voice, and he often insists on rolling the R's while talking in this like deep pirate captain voice. We are going to, it's not like, we're going to rock and blow your brains. It's like, we will rock you and blow your brains out. And it's just like, how can you not love it?
The double chin is fantastic.
Fun thing. But the last but certainly not least, something we haven't touched on tonight, I don't believe, were band mascots. Some of which were great, some of which were not so great, and some of which are just plain hilarious. Tior the Mighty from Riot. Nobody has ever gets this. When the first time you see this mascot, it's always just like, what the heck is going on here?
What are they thinking? Why?
Why? It was kind of just, the in joke of like, mankind, hunting animals to extinction. Well, it's this post-apocalyptic thing that metal likes, and we're going to do a post-apocalyptic heavy metal episode sometime, focusing on this. That'll be our theme for the night.
Johnny Touch, here we come once again.
Bands with the Armageddon imagery. But yeah, so their thing was kind of like, what if, imagine a world where the animals start to kind of take their revenge, and instead of, us clubbing, fur seals, the fur seals come back and start burning and looting our cities. That's why it ended up on the cover of Rock City. Why they kept it and kept running with it, who knows? It was something people could easily identify, but it's even the new album that is about to come out. They really take the Tior artwork to 11. If you haven't seen the cover for the upcoming Riot album, you will not be disappointed if you're a fan of Tior the Mighty here.
I'm probably going to lose a lot of subscribers here right now, but when I share this with you, on the lighter side, when Chromium Dioxide came out and we did a whole special on album mascots, we got the name wrong. We call him Johnny the Seal.
A lot of folks use Johnny and the seal there, which makes sense because they have a million songs with Johnny as a character name. So I can forgive you. That's okay, Johnny.
Yeah, and then we got chastised, and we used another name. I can't remember right now; it escapes me. But then Tior came out, and then you look at it, and for the life, when I realized it was Riot mixed around as Tior, I was so embarrassed. But I have to say, as a child, growing up in Newfoundland, and this is where it's going to get controversial. My grandfather, when he came back from World War II, he was also in the mental asylum because he came home with brains in his pocket from his friend who he wanted to bury because his soul would roam the earth forever. So he ended up in the Miller Center for like what they called shell shock.
Yep.
After that, after World War II, he was in Newfoundland. He was someone who hunted seals. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And did he go out with a club and beat the fuck out of them? Yes, he did.
Yep.
Right? And you'll never know the smell of what my grandparents called flipper cooking in the house. It is like an oil smell that's just so disgusting. It's like a black meat. But anyways, yeah, we used to have stuffed seals in my grandparents' house, and they used to put marbles in the eyes. So, and we had one that was so old and rotten that the eyes came out. So every time I see Tior, and everyone questions, why is that a metal mascot? I'm like, why isn't it?
Yeah.
Most fucking terrifying thing ever.
Right.
So yeah, and I'm a huge Riot fan, and I love Tior.
Yep.
I wanted to share that with you. And let me tell you something, to get a little politically right now. Those baby seals are adorable, but they're eating up all the cod stocks, and our province relies on selling cod for food. So fuck you.
There you go. Yep.
I'm going to wear a seal fur coat tonight.
Ooh, cod piece or thong, seal thong.
A cod piece, but it's really made of cod.
Yep.
You know, Rod Stewart came to Newfoundland and played on the show and bought a seal seal fur coat. And everybody went absolutely batshit crazy, and they were like going to cancel Rod Stewart, so he got rid of it. I wish I had owned it because I would wear a seal skin fur right now. I like Man-O-War, the boots made of it.
Hell yeah.
Tom, if you're ever watching any premiere videos over on Sea of Tranquility, don't make that joke. I've tried making Tior jokes in the chat over there from time to time. They always go completely over Martin Popoff's head. He does not get Tior whatsoever. And if you try to make a joke about it, he just leaves him flat-footed. And then you just feel like a total noob or something. Just like...
Sea of Tranquility doesn't like chromium dioxide either. I can guarantee you. He says it's old flash over substance is what he's called it.
What?
Yeah. I liked him when he had a different haircut than what he has right now.
But yes, they were doing band mascots or something, and Tior had come up, and I made a very similar joke to what Tom did there. And Popos was just typing. He's like, "Wait, what? Do you mean the seal is like what?" And you could just tell it just confused the poor guy to no end. And then I just felt sorry for it's just like just trying to be funny, man. You're not supposed to read anything into it. Just like I just go watch something else.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Have fun.
Exactly. And like let me say that Pete Pardo does a fantastic show, and Martin Popoff he's great. He has the worst taste in heavy metal, and
he really does.
But I really do. I do respect him. But
sure,
terrible taste. And how dare you say that we are style over substance, because our style is awful. We are tackier than plaid pants in '85.
Yes, Martin, all the respect in the world, but anybody who has who put it in a book. This is not like hearsay, not like, I was drunk once and blurted it out, because I had too many. Anybody who puts it into print that Octagon is the best Bathory album should not be making disparaging comments about
who said that Octagon's the best Bathory album?
Popoff.
Although he does Lost Stars, he does. I was at his place actually. I was
Really?
hired by Popoff to He wanted me to do illustrations for a book that he was doing, and
Huh.
he had quite an impressive collection.
Oh, I'm
He
sure.
didn't get me. He,
I can.
you know,
I'm
the
not surprised.
the tism really made him uncomfortable, but I think he's a little bit off too. But yeah, no, he's definitely a cool guy who wrote some great things. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm better than him.
If anybody comes at you and says that the Octagon is the best Bathory record, is not. It's got shit in their ears. Shit in their ears.
Sure.
Sorry, Martin, but it's true.
Bathory, he may just not understand Bathory. I don't know. But
shit, we are summoning hell tonight. We're fucking with Banger TV, Sea of Tranquility, and I'm talking about killing baby seals.
well, I'm gonna throw actually. I'm going to poke a different, much bigger.
Go for 4. Go for 4.
Let's go for 4. And this ties into the Octagon thing. Yeah, recently, over on Radical Research, Jeff Wagner and Hunter Ginn's, podcast, which is excellent.
Excellent.
Both,
good dudes,
are great guys, extremely intelligent. But they kind of put their foot in it a few episodes ago because they got off on a quick, Corthon side tangent. And made comments about I think the joke was like if there's one thing we'll never do, it's an Octagon episode on Radical Research. And so now of course that's kind of throwing down the gauntlet to your listeners. So there is now the rhetorical question was like how much would it take in terms of donations for us to actually do the Octagon episode? And they're both like ha that'll never happen. So now some of their listeners are starting to send in donations with the demand that they do an episode on Octagon. So if you enjoy Radical Research and you've got a few dollars to burn, I highly encourage you to send them little kind of super chat thing there on PayPal, but put in the comments section, this is for do Octagon, talk Octagon, you cowards, step into the Octagon. Just make it clear that they don't get away with that for free. That we are going to pony up and find the magic number that it takes to donate to make them do an episode on Octagon.
Shit! All it took was 5,000 subscribers to get Alan to listen to Chameleon.
Yeah, and I did it. Man of my word, I followed through.
Are you guys at 5,000?
Yeah. We're over.
We went over 5,000, and I did my Chameleon playthrough. I sure did.
It disgusts me that you guys fuck you both. All right, I'm here dressing up in hot costumes. I'm down on the ground, my poor fucking elbows, trying to run puppets, and you guys are just shooting shit. And no, the algorithm is unjust.
Phillip,
you got to feed the algorithm, Phil. That's the secret.
Fuck the algorithm.
You don't just feed the algorithm. You got to feed it Blue Raven. This right here.
I stand corrected.
Leotard shirt.
We have gotten ones of subscribers just because this little baby is going to trigger that algorithm. Right
it
there.
Is. It titillized it to
everybody who searches YouTube for Blue Raven. Come to Papa right here.
I can only
We're waiting on you.
By proxy.
Welcome home.
And anyways, guys, I want to thank you so much for having me back on. It's good to be home. And please do not go to Metal Theologian's eBay. I don't want him getting any money at all because he's going to use it for evil purposes.
Well, now he is. It might not have entered his mind, but now he is. Well, I got one more to show. I'm going to get this out of the way.
Yeah, actually,
is it your pubic mane?
If you decide not to go to Aaron's Records sale, that means you can take that money and donate it to Radical Research and help us demand that they do a full episode on Octagon.
We're going to be getting Hunter on here soon. He had some Agalock stuff to do, but we're going to be getting him on hopefully soon.
We've got a topic in mind for Hunter to join us as his schedule allows.
Yep. All right. Well, this is out for all the Michigan fans of early-ish U.S. black metal. We got Winds of the Black Mountain, which is short from Masochist. And he always has some interesting band photos on this 7-inch.
We've all been there.
We've all been there in the cemetery. So yeah, I'm not gonna say much about that other than showing that real quick. Yep. And Alan has the album where he's doing other things to this lady in the band photo on that one there too. But yeah, there you go. Humor.
Willie K approves. Some part of me now wants to clean my brain and just listen to Craft Dinner.
That's it. That's it for me. Is everybody else good?
Marty,
We're getting
let me
good
tell you
points, I
something.
think.
You were nervous. You didn't think we could handle it, and we barely did, but we did.
No, I was just nervous because I didn't feel like I had shit to contribute, but we
You
pulled
do
it
a
out.
show with Alan.
We pulled it out of the fire. Alan's always the proper wingman for every occasion, for sure.
How many people are so furious right now that Randy hasn't been brought up?
80. Well, they've seen Randy once or twice on this channel.
Yeah, they got Big Daisy tonight, and Randy will come back.
Randy is never far from our
You
thoughts.
can't show Randy every week. It loses the mystique if you can't show the same records every time.
No.
For this, Randy Fitz is a cabbage for all seasons. Blue Raven, this is their night to shine.
This is,
We're
yes.
not going to take that away from them. We
I
don't
got paid
overshadow
today.
them with Randy.
I got paid today, and I am going to Blue Raven the night away. that I'm going to try to find it. I know it's going to be hard, but I'll find it.
It's got to be out there somewhere.
Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much. Please go subscribe to Chromium Dioxide Radio. The link is in the description. Let's get this guy more subs. Come on, man. It's time.
Let's
Growing
be
a channel
serious.
organically is a lot of work, and for as much work as he puts into it, he should definitely be monetized and making some money for his efforts.
I can't be
Absolutely.
monetized, and I won't be monetized because I can't use the music then. And it's more about the music than it is that. That's how honorable I am. That's why you should subscribe more.
We'll go to Phillip's OnlyFans channel and check out some strange insertions and other curious anomalies.
Strange insertions got me in this problem in the first place.
Alan, what you got coming up on Let's Talk Metal? Tuesdays, another episode. What's happening there?
I
And
don't.
no one can even guess.
Yeah, I've been a little all over the place. I've got another book review I'm working on. I'm going to do a Pagan Altar deep dive, go through their discography pretty soon, and pull out some more weird singles. If the demand is high enough, maybe I'll even play some clips from Blue Raven soon. Who knows?
Right on. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much. Phillip, thank you. Alan, as always, you're the best. And all you folks in the chat that hung with us tonight, we were over 100 at some point. Thank you again. Always fun. You make this so much fun to do. And Phillip, don't hang up. We will talk to you all soon. There'll be a bunch of reviews next week. I know Alan just sent me something. I know Melanie's got one coming. I got a power metal power trio of 3 reviews in one coming up. I don't know if I'll get it done this weekend, but a bunch of stuff coming on Heavy Metallurgy. Please check us out. Cheers. And we're going to get this guy on the show here one of these days too.
1 second. You just brought up Melanie.
Yeah.
I don't think she gets chromium dioxide. And I think I want you both to do a show with me and Melanie live.
Okay.
That could be Hell Comes to Frogtown. I feel the two of us can make beautiful magic together.
I think it could happen. It could happen.
I love
Anything
you,
is possible
Melanie.
in the world of magic. But that's it. Everybody, y'all rule. Cheers. We'll see you next time.
Everyone do Sign of the Hammer.
Next week, Destruction, Jurgen.
Oh, shit, yeah. That's next week. I got to start listening to Destruction. Our favorite, one of our favorite guys is going to be on here. So Jurgen.
Next to Darcy, Mike Pence and Johnny Quest.
So we will see you next Friday for a Destruction discussion and deep dive. And Wednesday, Diabolic Supreme Evil is on the album club. So it'll be fun. You picked it. We will make it happen. So cheers, everybody. We'll see you.
I love you.